Baseball fans, please turn your attention to the field. As Sun Devil Baseball would like to welcome Sun Devil letter winner Jordan Tyson to throw out tonight's ceremonial first pitch. Jordan, the standout wide receiver for your Sun Devils, delivered an exceptional performance here in the 2024 season. He recorded 75 catches for 1,101 yards and 10 touchdowns, earning him Big 12 Offensive Newcomer of the Year honors. His remarkable contributions on the field also secured him a spot on the Associated Press All-America 13. Fans, please welcome Sun Devil football star Jordan.
Weekend 2 of the 2025 regular season ready to go here on ESPN Plus. Arizona State and Oral Roberts, a very good mid-major team coming in Tempe. The competition only getting fiercer for the Arizona State Sun Devils. With Jaden Taylor, Henry Dominy directing, Aiden Blanc, great to be with you. JT, this is a big one as we just said off the top. You have Ohio State, who just knocked off a ranked opponent today. They came in for the first 3. Austin Peay, solid mid-major, in for day number 4. And now you're playing 3 against a team that has not missed the postseason in 4 years.
Yeah, a dominant team inside of the Summit League each of the last couple of seasons, and it's going to look to be the same case this year for Oral Roberts. Again, it doesn't get very easy to start out this opening start of the season for ASU, but red hot and hoping to continue it.
Sun Devils are 4-0. They win tonight. They tie the best start in the Willie Bloomquist era. They were 5-0 2 years ago. If they can win today and tomorrow at 6-0, it would be the best start of the Willie Bloomquist era. And it's going to be a challenge with the competition on the field, but playing here at Muni is always a boost. And with 14 of your first 16 here, you really have to think they're ready to try and win every single one of those 14 games.
Yeah, and we saw this past week, and he helped out by the President's Day crowd on Monday against Austin Peay. But it is truly a home field advantage out here at Phoenix Municipal, especially during spring training. So much baseball out here in the Valley. This entire fan base is ready and chomping at the bit to get back out here and continually seeing ASU baseball.
Sun Devils take the field behind Ben Jacobs. We're looking to see a little bit better from him in a Friday night start. It was not the cleanest of outings. The last time that he threw, we're looking to see a little bit more of a splitter and off-speed pitches develop for him after he got rocked around in start number 1. And obviously, Ben is what you build your entire pitching staff off of. So always important to get a solid Friday night start out of him.
Yeah, a big thing for him like we saw last year. Filling to the zone, filling it up and away for the lefty. And his fastball's got a real good piece of ride to it, especially against right-handed hitters. You know the expectations. A top-tier draft prospect, one of the best arms that we've seen in the last really 3-4 years, by the best that we've seen under Willie Bloomquist in terms of all-around stuff as a southpaw. And I think the big thing for him, first night jitters, opening everything up, not quite his best. Weekend 2 is where you see that incremental difference of his next steps.
He will face this lineup from Oral Roberts. Leading off is Will Edmondson, the right fielder. Then it's Makani Tanaka, the center fielder, batting second. Vahile Kaane Yates is the catcher, batting third. Then Cooper Combs, Ethan Fender, Jack Shark, Tyler Broderick, Keaton Campbell, and Martell Davis. JT, there is not a single batter in this Oral Roberts lineup that was in any lineup they had last year. Every single player is a community college or D1 transfer.
Yeah, it's a lot of new guys looking at the start. We saw with Austin P on Monday, too. It's what baseball is becoming, and really what college sports in general is becoming in the last 5 or so years. It is rebuilding, bringing in new guys. Because, again, you get this Oral Roberts talent that comes in as freshman, sophomore, right? You're looking at the SEC schools, top Power 4 schools that might be poaching them later on. He's going to poach from the lower levels after that.
For Arizona State, the defense looking fairly standard. Compton, Jackson, Vu, left to right. Contrades, Jax Ryan, Kyle Walker, Jacob Tobias, third to first. And Josiah Cromwick getting the catching duties. Expect to see another group of multiple catchers come in this weekend. We're ready to go. It is a Friday night edition of Sun Devil Baseball. ASU 4-0. You've got Oral Roberts at 3-0. We're going to talk a lot more about the Oral Roberts defense, but they're at bat first. And the first pitch of the night, a little bit low. Brandon Compton against Will Edmondson. Or rather, that's Ben Jacobs against Will Edmondson. We just said Compton is out in left field. Corners at standard depth, the middle infield at double play depth, giving Edmondson a lot of room up the middle. He takes it high. Jacobs off on his first 2 pitches of the night.
Yeah, that one, just barely able to catch the top corner there. Again, not a bad pitch. Definitely not something you're going to go after here if you're Edmondson.
4 earned runs last outing. The best part of that outing was undoubtedly 1 walk in 4 innings pitched. He gets a strike in. They've actually changed the count. It's 1-2. He went 4 innings, gave up 5 hits, 4 earned runs with 5 strikeouts. 18 batters faced, 87 pitches in the opener. Be interesting to see if he goes any further. Ball fouled back and the count holds because we've seen him go pretty long. He has the longevity. He has the ability to go.
Yeah,
went as long as 6 last year?
Yeah, it was 610 pitches, 6 plus actually went into the 7th against UCLA. And again, these teams, we'll see UCLA on Tuesday of this next week. Jacobs has the ability to go long distances with his depth.
1-2 to the right fielder, hit of the year to left center field. Jackson Compton converge. It's over the fence. Leadoff home run, Will Edmondson. And the Oral Roberts Golden Eagles, fresh off a 19-run performance on Sunday, are rocking on Friday of this same week, 1-0 ORU.
Yeah, second straight game, 4th pitch has started off. The opponent gets a long ball against Arizona State. Not sure what it is. Same case on Monday for ASU. Giving up the early long ball. How do you bounce back?
19-0, the score on Sunday for Oral Roberts, and it's clear they picked up. Both of these teams basically had the week off. Oral Roberts Sunday to Friday, ASU Monday to Friday, as a strike comes in on Makani Tanaka, the center fielder. It's clear that the Eagle bats are ready to go. And as usual, the question's going to be, does ASU have the offense to fight back? Usually the answer is yes. Jacobs hits the zone. It's 0-2. So that's 2 home runs Jacobs has given up in just over 4 innings.
And ASU giving a long ball early, giving up a run in the first inning in every single game thus far to start this season. They had to work their way back, and they've been used to it, though, especially with such a veteran core.
Here's Makani Tanaka. Had a great weekend, arguably the best of any ORU player at the plate. 5 hits in 10 at-bats, scored 4 runs. So he enters this game essentially hitting .500. Had a pair of RBIs as well. Fresh off a 3-hit day to close out the series on Sunday. So he only got better as the day went on. Got on even more than that because he walked 3 times, once in each game. Jacobs dealing from behind, but in front in the count. The 1-2 is a little high, 2-2.
I don't mind it there. You're testing the fastball upstairs. I think why not try to push the slider the other way? Really extended hands in that one swing from Tanaka.
Giving him a lot of room, especially on the right side of that infield. Toby and Walker both almost to the outfield grass. The count even out here at 2-2, or rather 3-2. It'll go full. Mentioned all these guys that are transfers. Tanaka came by way of Saddleback College and Honolulu, Hawaii. So he's one of the Hawaiians on the team, and obviously there's even more on the field. Over at third base, you have New Contradas. Tanaka's out of Honolulu. The junior hitting .365 across 51 games last year in community college. Out in California. Here's the 3-2, and they ring him up. Tanaka goes down looking, and Jacobs punches back after a homer on the first at bat. A strikeout on the second, though he really had to work for it there.
Yeah, really looking in the back door. Really good fastball. Again, you pushed him away with the slider. Okay, your eyes are going out there. You spin on the first pitch. Why not go to that same spot with the heater?
A homer and a backwards K to start number 2 this season for Ben Jacobs, who ended last year as Arizona State's Friday night guy. Didn't start that way, but ended the season after Thomas Burns went down, getting about 6 consecutive starts in that Friday night role. Cutting a miss here from Vailele Kaane Yates, catcher in the 3 spot. This is really the first time in his tenure that Willie Bloomquist has brought back his Friday night guy. Obviously, you think that gives you a good anchor point on the pitching staff.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot more confidence in this entire staff. That was the big thing in the offseason, into this preseason, how much confidence this entire staff has, not just when the guy is in it, but along with the batters, too. This feels like it's probably one of the hardest falls that they've ever seen for a lot of these hitters.
Ball and a strike, and for the second straight batter, Jacobs goes up 1-2. Now, he couldn't finish off Tanaka until it went to 3-2. He missed a couple of pitches. Let's see if he can be more economical here and get the second out of the inning. All the way to the far side of the rubber. The pitch fouled off the inside of the bat, and we'll do it again.
Yeah, I don't mind the idea here. Fastball up and in. You're trying to get him to get underneath it. Did the job there. Would not mind backdoor slider. Try to push him the other way. You got a really good and athletic right side of the infield.
Ball and 2 strikes on Yates. The deal. They ring him up again. Big zone for Scotland Tendry behind the plate. It works in Ben's favor, and he gets a couple of backwards Ks after the leadoff home run. 2 down here in the first for Cooper Combs.
It's why it's so tough going against, not quite a 3/4 way lefty, right, in Ben Jacobs, but again, that pops out of the hand really, really wide.
Here comes the Kansas transfer. Cooper Combs takes a strike. Out of Fayetteville, Arkansas, a senior. 4 hits in 9 at-bats over the weekend with a run. The count 0-2 now. Enters this series hitting .444. So we talked about how Tanaka probably the best hitter coming in. Combs is right up there, just a tad below that 500 mark. The deal from Jacobs. Outside, the count 1-2.
Yeah, really good way to bounce back after the home run for Jacobs. You're sequencing well. you have your stuff. Change up not quite there right now, but you're testing it early to see if they'll bite after it.
Down to the 4 spot. A lot of high-hitting outfielders for Oral Roberts. The right fielder leads off, center fielder batting second, and the left fielder batting cleanup. So all 3 of those outfielders in the top of the lineup there. It'll be another 1-2. Again, the infield giving him a lot of space. Do it one more time. Mentioned it off the top. Oral Roberts has won the last 3 Summit League tournaments. And in 2023, they were in the College World Series. Trying to go for a 4-peat, be the second longest tournament title streak in the history of the program.
And it's been them, St. Thomas, North Dakota State, and kind of Omaha, the top 4 in that tournament each of the last 4 or 5 years.
And that tournament, impressive because last year they wouldn't have gotten in otherwise. 27-32-1, but they won the Summit League and got into the tournament. Unfortunately, then you ran into a behemoth of a regional. You didn't play UConn, but you played Oklahoma and Duke, and that was the end of the season there. And that's not really Oral Roberts. That's a lot of teams that wouldn't have been able to put up much of a fight against the power that was in that region. 3-2, pop towards right center field. This is going to stay in the park for Isaiah Jackson, and he gets it. So Jacobs gives up the leadoff home run, but he works around it with 3 straight retired, and that's the Ben Jacobs we're a little more used to seeing. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left. Golden Eagles striking first on what should be a nice long weekend of Sun Devil baseball. Sun Devil bats are coming up next here on ESPN+.
Congratulations, Santana. Thanks for playing tonight's edition of High or Low.
Friday Night Baseball, and Oral Roberts has already set the tone. A leadoff home run off Ben Jacobs. And now Jaden Taylor, it's up to the Sun Devil offense to try and counteract him, going up against a guy who had a pretty darn good Friday night start. His first time out, Weston Rouse, the starter for Oral Roberts. His first pitch, a swing and a miss. New Contradas back in the leadoff spot. The third baseman hitting first on the night. 0-1, high, 1 ball and a strike. It's New Contradas, Kian Vu, Brandon Compton, Jacob Tobias, Josiah Cromwell, Isaiah Jackson, Jonathan Hernandez, Jax Ryan, and Kyle Walker. That ball pegged in front of the plate, and it's 2-1.
And you look at New to start off the season, not exactly the opening stretch that you would expect it, especially with the kind of fall that he had. Was the hardest hitter to go up against in these fall scrimmages, but not quite as big underneath the lights. And that was a big thing for really Bloomquist this past weekend. Talking a lot about Brody Briggs, a guy that really struggled throughout majority of the scrimmages, couldn't really figure things out as much. And man, he really shown out well on the diamond in games.
Ball low, the appeal to first. He did not go per our first base umpire, Angel Campos, who's done a Sun Devil game or two in his time. New looking to get on base for the 5th straight game to start the season. Fouls the ball back.
I mean, that's what you want at the top of your order. I mean, we saw a lot with Kyle Walker kind of being a secondary leadoff man at the bottom of the order. A lot of long ABs to eat up pitches for the rest of your guys.
Left side and a sliding catch made it short. What a grab by Martell Davis. Gets dirty on his first chance of the night. First out, though a very strong rip for the third baseman.
Yeah, not an easy play over there. Short right at you. Barely got an opportunity to gauge that ball going to the left of you.
Brings up KV, Kian Vu, the right fielder. Fresh off just an absurd campaign last season. Saw him hit over 400. This one grounded to Davis. Easier play, and he steps into the throw to first. 2 quick outs in the first.
Yeah, cannot complain, especially at the long AB. 1 pitch, second out right after that. Settling things down, especially with, again, an offense that has the ability to make innings hurt you when they get it going.
Gets up Brandon Compton. So Weston Rouse has certainly picked up where he left off. He hits the ball outside 1-0. His start against Arkansas Pine Bluff back on opening day. 5 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, but it wasn't an earned run. A walk, 8 strikeouts, 22 batters, and 85 pitches. This is an Oral Roberts pitching staff that is one of only 2 in the nation right now with a 0 ERA. Both of the runs they surrendered last weekend were unearned to the second baseman. And Shark puts it away to secure a 1-2-3 inning for Friday night starter Weston Rouse. Golden Eagles have come to play, and we're going to see them hit again, try to get back at Ben Jacobs. The second inning coming up as the Sun Devils go down 1-2-3, 1-0 Oral Roberts here on ESPN+. We're in the third, or rather the second. Arizona State down early on this Friday night, first of 3 this weekend between the Sun Devils and Oral Roberts. With Jaden Taylor, I'm Aiden Blanc. Ben Jacobs gave up a leadoff home run, but he's battled back here, JT. Retired the next 3 he saw, 2 of them with a strikeout. And obviously, with this Sun Devil offense, you should be able to erase a 1-run deficit.
Yeah, you got to be confident with the offense that is there. Again, a lot of returners that have seen a lot of long comebacks, and we saw it on Monday with this group. Down early, couldn't find much throughout the first 4 innings, and they were able to find some big bats later on. He
gets Ethan Fender for his 3rd strikeout of the night and his 3rd strikeout in 4 batters. So other than Edmondson, who hit the home run, he has not had any problems getting people out. This is what you were looking to see out of your top draft prospect and the guy that's charged with securing your pitching staff. Strike lands in. No, it's a little high on a breaking ball at Jack Shark. Shark, a Central Missouri transfer. Division II last year, won the Central region with that team. 53 appearances, 49 starts. The last 2 years, he's been an all-MIAA third baseman. 52 and 10 his team was last season. He hit .366 to help him. There's a strike. It's 1-2. St. Louis, Missouri. A lot of these JUCO guys are local or semi-local to Oral Roberts. High swing and a miss. And there's that perfect high cheese that Jacobs had hit up a little bit, but has really located. Strike 3 for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, it's got some, again, really good late run to get back to it, right? Comes out of the hand like it might dot in the outer third, then flies away from the end of the bat. And that's where it gets away from you.
Down to the 7-hitter, Tyler Broderick, DH for the evening. Strike on him. That fastball has started to play a lot. Broderick, a Grayson College transfer out of Saratoga, California. Spoils one foul.
Yeah, I really like the way Ian Jacobs has been using the fastball, right? You give up the long ball, high fastball, right letter high, and again, a lot of guys can be shaken up by that, not be as confident in their stuff. He's gone back to it every spot in the order thus far.
He's struck out now 5 in 6 batters, and he's retired 6 straight. One heck of a bounce back from Benny on the mound. He strikes out the side. We're going to the bottom of the second. See if the Sun Devil offense can start to figure out Mr. Weston Rouse. Back in a moment. It's 1-0 Oral Roberts here on ESPN+. Bottom of the second inning, Arizona State and Oral Roberts, a non-conference series on the second weekend of regular season play in the college baseball world with Jaden Taylor, Aiden Blanc from Phoenix Municipal Stadium on a beautiful day here in the desert. Just a couple miles up and down the road, depending on where you went. There was spring training baseball today. Even some Sun Devils in the valley there, JT, and that's always fun to get the alumni to come back. They usually are around these games. Jacob Tobias is the leadoff batter here in the last of the second, and he's into a deep hole in 0-2 count.
Yeah, Hunter Bishop, the big name with San Francisco right now, just a little bit away from here, maybe 15 minutes over at Scottsdale Stadium. That Giant squad, a lot of production. I mean, look at Bishop and Gage Workman and Campos out there with the Cardinals out in the East Coast.
Sean McClain got in for the Dodgers yesterday. 1-2. Toby an excuse me swing and just barely stays alive. That included a former Sun Devil manager in Pat Murphy, now with the Brewers. Was around here, was at batting practice on opening night. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. Of course, Pat coached Willie Bloomquist, now the manager for Arizona State, and hired Graham Rossini as director of baseball operations, now the AD. Another hard hit ball that doesn't get out of the infield. Pulled right over to Fender at first base. Equally as impressive as the arms have been for Oral Roberts, the defense behind Weston Rouse has really come alive here.
Yeah, what a snag. Right at you. Quick jump, just barely to the glove out there. Not an easy play to make. And we've seen a couple hard-hit baseballs today, but the Sun Devils just not get down.
2 lineouts, 2 groundouts, the first 4 outs of the day for Oral Roberts defensively. Ball out to Josiah Cromwick. The catching spot for Arizona State, which Cromwick has tonight, has been so very interesting with Brody Briggs and a couple others trying to compete for this job. Off speed, and that was as off speed as you can get, over the plate 1-1.
Yeah, just 74 dropping it on the corner. And after fastballs in the low 90s, trying to reach out the hands of that one.
Absolutely lethal, as is that. A swing to left, and it's over the bullpen. It's another crop bomb, and Josiah Cromwick has tied this game on 1 swing for Arizona State. You can only ever keep these Sun Devil bats down for so long before a ball like that heads all the way up towards the highway. And the first hit of the night for Arizona State has tied this game a run apiece as Weston Rouse gets hit up for his first earned run of the season.
Yeah, you can't have that same pitch that you just got in the outer third, give it right over the shoulders. And that's just batting practice, getting that ball out of here.
Now it's Isaiah Jackson, fresh off a game in which he saw his first home run of this 2025 season. Was a big one on Monday. The Devils were trailing 3-0 entering the 5th inning to Austin Peay. Jackson hit a home run, and then a couple batters later, a big ball from Brandon Compton up the middle, and suddenly a 5-run inning carried them to the win.
Yeah, it's this way this offense has really produced the last couple of seasons, right? One guy gets a big hit, leads to another, one after another after that. Some really good at-bats. That's why I've seen so many crooked numbers for this offense. One bad inning can really get away from you. So especially for opposing pitchers, limiting just a 1 home run or 1 big hit across an inning is big.
Goes high and tight on Jackson and sends him back to the dugout. First strikeout of the evening for Rouse. Sends up Jonathan Hernandez, the DH. But you're also likely to see him as a 4th or a 5th outfielder this year. Hernandez and Kai McGarry, the 2 that are trying to squeeze into that outfield group that already is just so set. Includes 3 guys who've been here for multiple years. Brandon Compton, Isaiah Jackson, who you just saw, and Kian Vu, who we saw earlier.
Yeah, you look at that outfield on paper after last season, it's like, okay, this is going to be the spot. But I mean, Kian Vu and Compton even talked about it. It was a battle for those guys just to keep their spots with how good Hernandez has played. And, you know, the big freshman, a big name you'll see in a couple of years.
Jackson in his 3rd season, Vu as well, and then Compton in year number 2. So a combined 8 years of not just college baseball, Sun Devil baseball between those 3 in the outfield. You compare that to an ORU team that's just so new. Not one of these players in the field right now was here a year ago, and that includes Weston Rouse, the Oklahoma State transfer on the mound. Didn't appear at all last year. But you learn so much from being around that program, and now he's taken the Friday night job. 1 program over, a strike 3 looking on Hernandez, and Rouse ends the inning with a couple of Ks. But that doesn't undo the damage that Josiah Cromwick did to this ORU squad. Came in without an ERA. They're going to leave with at least one. A 1-1 ball game on Josiah's bat, heading to the third here on ESPN+. Headed to the third here on ESPN Plus with Jaden Taylor. I'm Aiden Blanc. Arizona State giving up the leadoff home run, but Ben Jacobs, boy, he's been absolutely magnificent since then. He's faced 6 batters after that leadoff, and he's struck 5 of them out. To the 8-hitter now, and Keaton Campbell, third baseman, takes a strike.
And a big reason why is because of that. Early strikes, early swings and misses in these counts. And he's getting these guys to get out in front early. And he goes away with a fastball late.
Campbell going to go down 0-2, spoiling a foul ball. Jacobs, a Pac-12 honorable mention last year. Prospects Live said number 2 lefty in this upcoming MLB draft. MLB.com has him a little lower than that, but the consensus is he's a first, second round pick. Depends on how this season goes, and depends on things like this. Being able to see as a scout, he gave up the leadoff home run, but has been perfect since then. And he's even better there. Keaton Campbell headed back to the dugout as strikeout victim number 6 on the night. Something has clicked in the mind of Ben Jacobs, and he's just found himself a zone as he tries to clear the order for the first time here.
And just a perfect changeup, right? Tunneled well with that fastball. Again, fastball's going up and away. A little bit late bite. The changeup just dies. And that's why, again, you get a guy so far out in front of that ball, you just can't find the barrel. And sequencing has been a big thing right now for Ben Jacobs, looking so good. And now you're going to look at it again through the next part of the order after this.
You're going to get a lot of those swings that just feel like mistakes as soon as you let the bat out of your hands. You're going to get that no matter who Ben Jacobs is facing. The 0-2 is away. This is Martell Davis, the shortstop, who's had some excellent plays in the field already. Two hits and 8 at-bats last weekend, including a double in the second game of that series. Seminole State transfer who started all 45 games last year at second base. So he's actually made a bit of a position change. They've moved him from second, where he was for 45 times last year, to short. And he's headed back to the dugout as strikeout victim number 7. And here comes Ben Jacobs, striking out 7 of the first 9 batters he sees.
And how about using every pitch in the arsenal to be able to do it? Fastballs look good. He's been able to get guys chasing outside the zone. The slider been able to work back door. And again, that time the changeup that just tunnels so well with that two-seamer.
Will Edmondson is the only one to have a hit tonight, and it was a homer, responsible for that first and only run so far for Oral Roberts. Led this game off in the first inning. Gets a second at bat here in the third. He was the best bat last weekend. 6 hits and 11 at-bats, along with 3 runs and a pair of walks. Leads the team in hits entering tonight, now with 7. He's one of the only Division I transfers on this roster. Came over from Arkansas, where he appeared only 5 times last year, but in those 5 appearances, you saw some great stuff. Hit .318 over 22 at-bats. Rolls the ball foul. Before that, the Kansas Jayhawk Community College Conference West MVP at Hutchinson Community College. We have our resident Kansan here, resident Jayhawk Henry Dominy, our producer. Little number back up the middle, and it rolls up the forearm of Kyle Walker. That should be ruled a hit. Walker took a stab at it, but you could go either way. You think it's home, you get a little generous scoring. Either way, Edmondson on for the second time today. He's been the only one that's found any kind of success off Jacobs.
Yeah, back up the middle, just enough muscle to poke that one through. Going back to Hutchinson, really, really good Jayhawk Conference JUCO out there. They're one of the best guys that you'll see in that conference. Them, Southeastern up in Beatrice, a lot of great teams across that stretch. You see a lot of really good junior college ball players covering the Midwest.
They officially scored a single. I agree with that. It was a hard hit ball back up the middle. Just based on that, I think he earned himself a single. So he breaks this streak of 8 straight retired by Ben. And now he takes off, and a ball dribbled towards short. They don't get the out at second. They will go to first. Jax Ryan ball kind of bit up on him, but even with the single, Ben Jacobs pretty darn terrific. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. And we're all knotted up as this game flies along, headed bottom 3. 1-1 game between Arizona State and Oral Roberts right here on ESPN+.
Okay.
Bottom 3 on ESPN Plus with Jaden Taylor. I'm Aiden Blanc. 1-1 ball game. Home runs the offense for each of these teams. It was Will Edmondson for ORU, and then it was Josiah Cromwell for the Devils last inning. ASU try to get a little more offense going, a strike in on the 8-hitter Jax Ryan, starting up inning number 3 for the Devils. Ryan, part of that ferocious middle infield battle. We mentioned the catching battle. You essentially have 4 middle infielders right now, maybe a couple more even, vying for only 2 spots. We've seen everyone get a chance. Jax, of course, was the favorite to be right in that mix. There were about 3 middle infielders last year, and he was right in that mix until he went down about 17, 18 games into the season. But he's come back now. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. He's the only returner in that group. Tough play, left side, and it goes off the glove of Campbell. Long turn at first for Jax. He'll hang out there. Campbell went for it. He took a risk, JT, and it really cost him the play. If he had let that ball go to Davis, it would have been a tough play, but probably a higher chance of making it.
Yeah, I think the more thing there was you're trying to go after a middle hop that's going to eat you up quickly. You either had to cut into that ball, go straight towards the bag, or allow yourself to take a little bit of a deeper route to it. Kind of went the middle route and didn't go well for him.
Score that a single as well. Brings up Kyle Walker. Don't be fooled. He's in the 9 spot. There may be a point this season where he's the best hitter on the team. The numbers that he put up last year, the numbers he's capable of putting up.
And I think it's truly the quality of at-bats that he's putting together. 11-pitch double last weekend to kind of ignite a weekend series win against Ohio State.
Knocked into a tailor-made double play ball. He's quick, though, and he beats it out. You can never make that assumption with Kyle Walker. We saw that on the first at-bat he had as a Sun Devil, where he was able to do just that, beat out a double play ball that nobody thought he would. So it'll only go down as a fielder's choice. Ryan is off the bases. And a runner on as the lineup turns over for Contrades. Ain't no Walker's a threat to steal now. Just the hustle combined with natural athleticism has made him a weapon. The speed might be his best weapon. Contrades 0 for 1 with a hard line out the first time, and Walker steals second. Boy, it wasn't even a challenge. Even if Yates had gotten the ball out of his glove, which he didn't, Walker was over halfway there by the time the ball even reached the plate.
I think that's why Billy Bloomquist says that Kyle Walker embodies ASU baseball, that gritty style of game they love to see.
And he's going to third, and he's got third. Get down there, Kyle Walker. The speedster beats out a double play ball, steals second, and a pitch later gets third. He'll have a target on his back the rest of the night. But a pair of steals from a guy that may be looking to set some records in that department this year. Now a runner 90 feet out, the go-ahead run. And the pitch high to Contrades. You can see what those two steals did to Weston Rouse now, who is not a guy who gets very unfocused, but has missed a couple of pitches 3 in a row here to Contrades, trying to avoid his first walk of the night. And there it is. New draws a base on balls, and this is something we've seen more of in this season with Willie Bloomquist. The mind games with this ASU team, adding in things like the speed of Kyle Walker and the walkability of a lot of these guys. He's able to play a lot more small ball for a team that's used to hitting balls 500 feet over the fence.
Yeah, 102 home runs last season, best in the BB Core era. And you think this team is known for hitting the long ball? They have the power to be able to do it, but again, it's that next step that makes this team from a good team to a tournament team, is being able to do it all. They have the speed with Ryan and Walker, and even this guy right here in Key and Vu. They just have to be able to put themselves in positions to where they can put it to their advantage.
Vu 0 for 1 with a ground out. Be looking for a pitching mound visit right now, because Weston Rouse just is not focused. 4-pitch walk. He's got guys stealing on him all over the place, and finally finds one over the plate here on Vu, but you gotta be careful. That was at 77. If you throw too many of those, Key and Vu will put it over the fence like that.
And you've already seen it tonight with Cromwell, change up left high, and you're talking about it looked like batting practice out there in that swing.
He goes in at 78. Ball and a strike. Vu entered the series hitting .308. Started all 4 games last weekend, scored 6 runs on 4 hits with 2 RBI. Looking to get his 3rd of the season here. Middle trying to turn that double play, get him out of this. This is a high chopper, going to be a tough play to do that. They go the short way to second and get the out. But Vu drives the run in. Doesn't appear there will be any contention of the call at second, but either way, Kean Vu earns an RBI. Kyle Walker's in, and Arizona State has themselves a 2-1 lead. And now it looks like the umpires are going to review this themselves. I didn't see Willie Bloomquist officially challenge it.
Yeah, he did come out. He came out of the dugout to take a look at it and wanted to see if they will at least converge to talk about it more.
Call as it stands would be another fielder's choice. They're going to go to the review. Our umpiring crew of the evening, with Scott Latendry, the crew chief, at the plate, Angel Campos at first, Mike Lusky at third, and Ramon Armendariz at third base. Two of them have made their way over to check on this call. Boy, wouldn't it be something if you get two runners on here, if you're Arizona State. That ball looked to be a routine double play. Shark waited on it, and that was the issue. At this point, you're just hoping for one out and one run. Things have started to turn on Weston Rouse, who we mentioned had little to no opposition in his first start of the season. And now you're going to, for the first time, see his adversity.
And again, it's what you're trying to see from a guy that, again, has the ability to be at a power forward level. Don't see that a ton last weekend, right? Because you're going against, again, a very different opponent in Arkansas, Pine Bluff, and now you're going against an order that there's really no easy task against. Maybe Jax Ryan, your only guy that you see, okay, numbers-wise, from across his career, not exactly the best of bats comparatively, but the rest of this lineup, there is not an easy guy to go up against.
Sun Devils, as it stands, a run on 2 hits.
I think they're taking a long look at this one to see, again, is there enough to truly tell?
It has to be close if they've stayed this long. Saw an awful lot of reviews on opening weekend. It's been around in college baseball for a while. Not always has it been available for every single game. In previous years, the non-cons, it wasn't available, and it was only available in Pac-12 or Big 12 play, but it's available for every game this year, and Arizona State taking full advantage of it. If the call were to be overturned, you'd have first and second, and the lineup goes to Brandon Compton, and that is the last thing you want for Oral Roberts. They're going to make a call here, and he's out. So the second out of the inning, does it make much difference? We're going to find out, because the next batter is by far the best through 4 games of the Sun Devil season. Last year's Pac-12 Freshman of the Year, and an all-around masher of the baseball, Brandon Compton.
There's a reason why this guy is a preseason All-American. Just an absolute incredible build, and put himself on a lot of guys' eyes, more so scouts' eyes, last 2 seasons in summer ball.
Start him with a sweeper. So they put Vu on first with a fielder's choice. Doesn't need much of a lead. You don't want to take the bat out of Compton's hands. Another check.
Anyway, with a bat like Compton, right, you got 2 outs, you got a speedy runner at first. You really have to force his hands to push the ball outside where he's comfortable. Right? All of his power comes with his hips that he's going to be able to find a really well pull side. We've seen him the ability to go to the opposite way, and his biggest thing this season is trying to go to all fields this year. You do not want to get one in on his hands to where he can really drive it. You've already seen a ball leave the yard.
2-0 deal coming. 2 strikes here on Compton. Vu is off first. BC at the plate, 2 down in the inning. Kean takes off. The pitch is low. The throw is late. And it gets to center. Kean wants third. Good throw coming in. He's in there safe. Wow, the aggressiveness has really helped Arizona State. That is twice now between a pair of stolen bases from Kyle Walker and the heads-up base running from Kean Vu that they've been able to take third base all on their own. A runner now 90 feet out and a 3-2 pitch coming to one of the best hitters in the nation. Vu goes first to third with the errant throw from Yates at the dish and the pitch to Compton. 3-2 now. This is a huge moment early in the game. If you get out of this, it's only a one-run deficit. But again, you cannot afford to miss to any of these batters, let alone the best one among them, at least through 4 games. Payoff deal to the lefty. Pulled, first base, foul ball. That was close. Would have been major trouble had that gotten down. Instead, Compton's going to see another.
Yeah, hung another piece on the inner third. We saw Cromwick. He did damage. That one a little bit lower for the hands to get through there for Compton. You cannot allow another ball to be left up that far in the zone.
Started the at-bat working him out with a slider. Worked him in there. And now he walks him. 85 and away. You think, okay, you're out of the water? No, here comes Jacob Tobias, who had the first home run of the season for this Arizona State team 1 week ago tonight, and would love another big ball. Give him another run or two. Compton can move. And obviously, Vu, all you need to do is get the ball out of the infield, and he's in. That's the first walk of the night for Weston Rouse, who's been flirting with him but hadn't allowed one yet. Now he's finally surrendered one in a quick moment with Yates. Surprised that Yates is the first one to come out and do a mound visit here, and not anybody from the ORU coaching staff. Now a fresh count and a fresh face in Jacob Tobias. Lined out to start last inning. Takes the ball out to start his second at bat of the night. Sun Devils a 2-1 lead. Toby a big swing and a miss at 1-1. Everyone giving him a lot of space. Shark, Davis, Campbell, all back. Runner takes off. They're going to try to get the run, and it was a bad throw. Everybody's safe. First one from Yates was too long. That one pegged into the grass a little too short, and the Devils continue to be aggressive on the base paths. A 3-1 Arizona State lead with very little swinging of the sticks, and that's just so good to see.
Yeah, that ball just looked like palm behind the dish by Yates. Just spiked a little bit too hard, trying to get the far throw down. And again, ASU being aggressive, doing the little things right now really well.
And now Toby takes one down the line. A long run for Edmondson. He won't get it. Rounding and scoring, Compton. Tobias has extra bases at second. And it's a nice opening here in the third for the Devils. 3 runs, and they're not done yet. 4-1 Arizona State. The exact inning you wanted off of a Friday night guy that has not faced a ton of adversity through this young season and started to mow your guys down. The first 4 he sees were retired, but he has run into trouble here in the third, as pitchers always seem to do with this Arizona State lineup.
Yeah, now you're already thinking bullpen this early on a Friday night. Again, long series after, again, a 4-game opening week for ASU. You can get that opponent deep into their bullpen early. It's not only one good night, it leads to 3 with, we're talking about so many new guys on this Oral Roberts roster. lot of guys to figure out who can truly be their top arms. You only learn so much. But against Arkansas Pine Bluff to begin your season, now it's truly a test.
Every single batter this inning for Arizona State has reached base. The only outs that Oral has gotten have come on a pair of fielder's choice attempts, and one nearly got overturned. 3 hits on the inning, a walk, and a fielder's choice. Or rather, 2 walks. You're going to keep him in for Josiah Cromwick, who took him yard the first time.
And the big thing, too, nobody throwing in the pen right now.
Yeah,
a couple guys stretching, but nobody throwing.
This is Weston's game. He went 5 in his debut. Lands a strike in at 73 on Cromwick. You got to be telling him to stay away from the changeups right now, especially over the plate. The way this team has started to hit him. Cromwick off at 88. That's a little bit better. That was still a change, but even going up to 88 from where you've been lying in the low 70s, it's just a change of speed. Toby's off second. You're a strike away from getting out of this. Not terrible, but 4-1 is going to be a hole and a half to climb out of the way Ben Jacobs is pitching. You don't want to allow anything more. 0-2, Cromwick pulls it left side. Going to be a tough play from the hole, and they get it over. Davis has been the best part of this team defensively, and he ends a nightmarish inning for Oral Roberts, in which only one batter was actually set down. Everybody else for the Sun Devils reached base. 3 runs on 3 hits with no errors and 1 left. ASU opening up a 4-1 lead, their first of the game. We'll go to the 4th here on ESPN+. We're in the 4th here on ESPN Plus with Jaden Taylor. I'm Aiden Blanc. Arizona State opening up with a 3-run 3rd inning. Always seems to be the big inning that gets this offense going. And now Ben Jacobs, for the first time tonight, pitching with the lead, JT. We said 1 run is really nothing with this offense. You shouldn't be that concerned. And what do you know? He waited it out for a couple innings, started to work into his own groove, and those bats backed him up. Pop up right side from the 3-hitter, Kaane Yates. And now it's a 1-1 count.
And again, it's why there's so much confidence, right, in this entire roster that we've seen really a lot different in the last 2 seasons. So much confidence in this group because everybody's got their back. There's so much depth at so many places in this roster. You can't complain about it.
If Ben Jacobs is going to 82, that's a problem, and that's what he just did. Now a strike away from strikeout number 8. Or rather, it is strikeout number 8. He struck out 7 of the first 9 batters he saw.
Math is hard sometimes. You got it, though, Aiden.
There it is. Number 8 for Ben Jacobs, and he's barely into the 4th inning. What a start for the lefty from Arizona State.
And he's showing off everything with confidence. And it's the big thing too, right? You're not settled down with 1 or 2 pitches like we've seen on the other end for Rouser. And just being able to find the zone consistently with everything that you have, and shows why you're a Friday night guy, one of the top guys in the country.
Cooper Combs, swing goes around. It's 0-1. He's faced 3 batters twice. This is the 4th. The 2 batters that he retired the first time, he did it again in the 2nd. Popped up off the inside of the bat and foul. And wouldn't you know, he's got Yates in a hole again. Or rather, Cooper Combs, the left fielder for Oral Roberts. And he's got strikeout number 9. Ben Jacobs has picked up the pace in a big way. And Big Game Ben is back on the mound in Tempe.
And for Oral Roberts right now, you're just hoping and praying Ben gets behind in the count at least once right now. I mean, there's no answer, right? There's no way to be comfortable in the box. He's working quick. He's got all of his stuff working. And it's a dangerous spot to be if you're a lineup.
You're hoping you can flash forward to the 6th or 7th inning when he comes out of this game. But even then, look at what the bullpen did in the back half of the game on Monday, where they basically saved the game. If the bullpen hadn't performed that well, it was only a 2-run lead.
You might not need much bullpen with
exactly.
the way Jacobs working right now, how efficient he's been.
The alternative to Jacobs is not much better, especially on a Friday night with pretty much, we assume, everybody available. You don't know who you're getting. You could get Cole Carlone, who's capable of starting on Sundays. You could get Jonah Giblin, who was the rock on Monday. Or you could just get Ben Jacobs, who's now struck out 10 batters in 4 innings and just struck out the side for the 2nd time. He's Big Game Ben for a reason, and Arizona State's top draft prospect has held it down on the mound on this Friday night. The Devils are in full control going to the bottom of the 4th. 4-1 Arizona State. Back in a moment on ESPN+. Last of the 4th here at Phoenix Municipal Stadium, and Arizona State is in full control. Ben Jacobs has struck out 10 batters in 4 innings, and the offense with 4 runs on only 3 hits. Aiden, Blanc, Jaden, Taylor, Henry Dominy pressing the buttons, making it all look pretty here on ESPN+. We're back all weekend for Arizona State and Oral Roberts. A good challenge for the Devils early in the season, but it hasn't been much of a challenge these last couple of innings. The way that Jacobs has hunkered down on the mound and the way that these bats have produced, fresh off a 3-run 3rd inning, and they've scored 4 in their last 2. Leadoff hitter is Isaiah Jackson, one of 2 strikeout victims on the night for starter Weston Rouse. 1 ball and 1 strike here.
Yeah, don't mind the idea of putting down a bunt there. Got the speed. You're showing off everything, right? This defense has been uncomfortable the last couple of innings with the way these bats produce. Why not put them on their heels more?
1-1. He's got the gap, and this might be extra bases. No, it's a single as Combs comes over to cut it off, but still a great piece of hitting from Isaiah Jackson. You've heard all season about how he's reworked his swing completely since arriving here in the fall. And the junior, who is still looking to maybe get picked up in the draft, he's already done it once, trying to do it again, has got himself a single to start off inning number 4.
And again, the overhaul with that swing, it's probably not a hit that you see last season for Isaiah Jackson. Just such a long swing to get to the barrel through the zone, right? A lot of times he's getting on top of that ball or pushing it on the ground the other way. And this season, trying to get underneath it a little bit more, keeping the hands compact has been the big, big difference.
We heard a lot more line drives and a lot less pop-ups out of Isaiah Jackson's bat. A guy who really struggled over the summer, going to the Cape League and playing with a wood bat. It was a lot for him. Hitting the 100s for most of the season, that can be demoralizing, and it's always good after a season like that to come back here, work on your swing a bit, and pick up a metal bat and just start hitting balls again, and that certainly has played true for him.
Yeah, and I think the bigger thing has been working with new hitting coach and Coach Ellison. They call him Ellie, of how much his confidence has grown working with him each and every single night. And just the confidence and the poise out there for, again, a guy that, again, does know that he has the stuff. He has the talent and the pure raw power along with the speed to be a legitimate draft prospect. Now it's just getting the small things back together, getting the swing more compact, and he's able to keep the barrel in the zone a lot longer.
Jonathan Hernandez fouls the ball off. Look out for Isaiah at first. He just showed it. He's got speed. He's tall. That's always helpful. On for the first time tonight. Hernandez is the other strikeout victim. I love watching him in fall ball. I thought he was really one of the best hitters in this lineup. A transfer coming over and trying to compete in the outfield. He's a redshirt junior, so a good chance he'd be back next year to try and take an outfield spot, and that's good because theoretically all 3 of those guys could be gone. He hits a long fly ball foul down the line.
Yeah, you kind of want to see what you have, right? Depth-wise, you're going to see a lot more with the pitching. You used to have 17 pitchers used across those opening 4 games. Now the deeper piece of the bats in these non-conference games. Who can you trust to come in late in the season?
Hernandez to right field. A towering ball that backs Edmondson all the way onto the warning track. But he's there for out number 1. So Hernandez, the first Devil to get retired twice. It's an F9, and here comes Jax Ryan, who started all this last inning. A single, got thrown out at second base, but set the stage for Kyle Walker, who beat it down the line. One of 6 Sun Devils that reached last inning. This ball hit even higher than the first one. Again playable. Edmondson stutters but makes the play. Couple of F9 putouts. And it's been a pretty good settle down inning here for Weston Rouse.
Yeah, exactly.
Desperately needed it.
Yeah, exactly what you need. Second time through the order and trying to see these guys that have seen you pretty well the last 2 innings. Get them underneath the ball, get a lot of weak contact, because again, it's more of a pitchability lefty look. Honestly, a guy that you normally see on Sundays a lot of times that you'd expect out of a top rotation to try to get weak contact, and that's been the name of the game for him. Not a big strikeout guy, but again, when he's left it way over the heart of the plate, and we've seen some big, big hits here today.
Kyle Walker scored the 2nd run of the night for Arizona State. Singled last inning, or rather reached on the fielder's choice.
And again, he has the speed. And again, you look at him in the 9-hole, a transfer that was a dominant guy at Grambling State, and the depth of this lineup is just incredible. I mean, Josiah Cromwell talked about it too. It's insane that you have a guy like this in the 9-hole with how much he can do, and he's got some big swings like that. He can do pretty much anything you need him. You want to put a button down first base side, he's going to get the job done.
And Willie Bloomquist was very adamant that the stat sheet didn't tell the story for him last weekend. Comes in at 143. He's not a 143 hitter. They got him picked off, do they? No, Jackson sneaks into second base. Didn't seem like that was intentional, but I'm sure Willie Bloomquist will take it with a nice smile, and now a base hit can bring in a run here.
Yeah, had him lean in and a really good pickoff move. That's tough for Rouse. You had him just really dead to rights, and then Jackson just swimming away from that tag.
So Isaiah's at second now. 73 off speed. Walker was not ready for it, needless to say.
He hasn't been ready for that in probably 2-3 years.
Rouse trying to get out of it unscathed. 1-2. Dirt ball for 2-2. Good crowd for a Friday night. That crowd that came in on opening weekend of 13,232, the most through 4 games in Phoenix Municipal Stadium history, at least for Arizona State. 13,232 through the first 4 games of this season. That ball a mile high to the lip of the grass for Davis. He's been rock solid for them defensively, and he's got it for the final out. So other than that leadoff single, Rouse able to work around it and get himself out of the 4th clean. No runs, a hit, no errors, and a runner left on base. 4 in the books, and ORU trying to find an answer to Ben Jacobs. We'll see the 10K man back on the mound coming up next on ESPN+. To inning number 5 we go with Arizona State and Oral Roberts. Here from Tempe at Phoenix Municipal Stadium. Alongside Jaden Taylor, Aiden Blanc, delighted to be with you. The first game of this series, and the Sun Devils in control of it. 4-1 lead. JT, the offense has been good for the Devils, but man, the story's been Ben Jacobs, 10 strikeouts, and that's probably not the last time we're going to mention that.
Yeah, and to start off the day, not what you expected. 5 pitches in and a home run. You're wondering what's next.
Flown to left and gone into the bullpen. That's what's next for Oral Roberts. The only runs of the night for them have come on the long ball. And on one swing of the bat, Jack Shark, who struck out his first time up, has made this a 2-run game. One of those strange occurrences. Only 3 hits all night off Jacobs. 2 of them have been home runs.
Again, left up high in the zone. Right, again, if you're going to miss, you're going to miss low. And that's where he did these last 3 innings. A couple of change-ups, a couple of sliders. He left the ball low on those mistakes. Can't have a high mistake there. And again, especially with really just kind of a tomahawk swing being sent out of here.
Defensive positioning going to get changed here. Contrades is all the way in. The outfielders seem to be playing in as well, as a strike comes in on Tyler Broderick. That's a very interesting alignment. Contrades nearly into the grass. Everybody else giving him as much room as they can. And then Compton, Jackson, Vu, the three outfielders, around standard depth, but feels like they're creeping in. DH struck out his first time up. Lines one back foul.
And again, adversity, right? How do you bounce back after giving up a solo shot? But the big thing, too, right, we have not seen innings be prolonged by Jacobs. Giving up one base hit or one quick base runner, able to bounce back quickly and get a lot of quick outs.
Slow roller dies on the infield grass. Toby stabs in, runs it over. Jacobs recovers from the home run with the first out. Remember, the last time he gave up a home run, he retired 8 in a row. So the homers have really not affected him other than the 2 runs on the scoreboard. Brings up Keaton Campbell, the 8-hitter. This is also the bottom of the order. A bottom of the order in which the last 5 hitters, their first time up, all struck out. So the confidence factor should be playing here that the bottom half of this order, nobody even touched you their first time around. One bad pitch shouldn't be deciding the inning here. And if you're a scout, which we assume there are many of here, especially on a night where Ben's pitching, that's probably what you see. As opposed to the home runs, you're more concerned with what he did after them. 1-1 with 1 out. A check swing, he went around, it's 1-2.
And a 0 on the free pass mark, too, right? You're not missing wide, you're not missing often, right? Your misses are one big swing, but you're able to keep things controlled.
Campbell, the third baseman, takes the ball low, 2-2. He is strikeout prone. Mentioned he struck out in his first at bat. Had a strikeout in each of the 3 games last weekend. So now it's 4 consecutive games for him to start the season with a K. A righty on lefty matchup here. 2-2 for Jacobs. Deals. Reaches out, grounds it towards the middle of the infield, and Kyle Walker's there to make the play. Against his momentum, gets it over to first for the second out of the 5th.
And again, not allowing one big hit turn into 2, 3, 4, 5. It's what the offense has done so well this season of becoming, just a team that just feeds off each other, getting one consistent hit, then bringing in a big inning, and we saw that in the 3rd already today. It's been the opposite side, which has not really been often that we've seen in the Willie Bloomquist era for this pitching staff, right? We've seen at times last season, especially deep into April and May, when one bad inning would turn into 2 or 3. One bad hit would give up 2 or 3 runs in a lone frame. It's keeping things controlled on the mound, which has been so tough for Willie Bloomquist pitching in the past.
One offering. 2 balls and a strike here on Martell Davis. We've been so impressed with his offense all night. Certainly has earned the shortstop spot. Again, came over not having played shortstop last year at Seminole State. Hits that ball to the moon. That is way gone. Nearly hits it onto the highway. Martell Davis. And on the 3rd home run of the night for Oral Roberts, it's a 1-run game. Here come the Eagles.
When you're going to have misses, you can't have misses above the zone and at the top half of it. That one might even been chased above the zone there, but man, what a swing. Left it high and another big damage right there.
4 home runs tonight, 3 of them off Eagle bats. And that one by far the longest. That was a launch. It's always hard to tell on a night game how close you are to getting a ball up onto the road there that runs above left field here at Phoenix Municipal Stadium. You have to imagine that was right there. They're going to charge Jacobs a pitch clock violation here, so He'll start the count on Will Edmondson, who has 2 hits off him tonight, at a ball and no strikes. Edmondson had the first homer of this game, way back on the first batter. And then in the third, he got a single, ball that was up the middle and just misplayed, but it was ruled a hit. 1 of 4 on the night for ORU, and now the count's 3 balls and no strikes. Jacobs doesn't seem to want to pitch to him. The one guy who's consistently had his number, and he's walked him, putting him on for the 3rd time in this game.
And now is where you cannot allow things to crumble. Got to get an answer. Got to find a way to get out of this inning. Another weak contact piece, and this is a really good job by Carter to go out and talk with Jacob. Just slow him down for a moment. Keep him centered when things are getting away.
Jeremy Accardo, brand new pitching coach for Arizona State. Fresh out of the major and minor leagues. Has worked with a whole number of organizations, obviously played Major League Baseball for a while. Local guy from Arizona. The Sun Devils start to warm some players up in the pen. They're going to stick with Jacobs for the time being. This is already longer than his last start. Opening night, he went 4 innings, gave up 4 earned runs. So he's still got better numbers than he did the last time around. At this point, you just try to get him through the 5th and then recalibrate. See what happens. He's now facing this order for a 3rd time. Be interesting to see which batters they let him face a 3rd time.
And I think here, you try to get him out, get out of this inning in this next at-bat, then maybe trust him to go out for another. Gets any trouble, Alicia's got to be pulled quickly.
He fires in for a strike. We mentioned he has the longevity. Got into the 6th, 7th innings a couple times last year. But on a Friday night, you're good with him taking 5. Runner takes off, pitches a strike. Throw down is low. Not good enough from Cromwick, who is the most experienced of these catchers, especially with ASU, and a stolen base there from Edmondson, the one bat who's had a really good night. Foul back from Tanaka.
Man, going back to Jacobs of the leash that you're wanting to pull here. Again, this early in the season, right, you're not looking to see him at triple-digit pitches. And you want him available all season long to really give you long distances. That way you get deep into conference play, you can see him going 6 and 7.
Look at the sweeper and the roar from Ben Jacobs. Gets roughed up a little, but keeps that lead for Arizona State. 4-3 Devils halfway through this Friday night ball game. We're going to the bottom of the 5th. ASU trying to pull away a little bit more when we come back here on ESPN+. bottom 5 at Phoenix Municipal Stadium. We saw Ben Jacobs got a 5th, and so will his Oral Roberts counterpart, Weston Rouse, Jaden Taylor, who had a rocky 3rd inning, but outside of that has kept the damage very minimal. And the first batter he sees is Contrades, who flies it foul right side.
And again, 3rd time through the order. That's when everything changes for a pitcher. The numbers bump up. And again, the fatigue sets in, especially this early on the season. Oral Roberts, not a guy that's going to go out there and give you 100 every single night. So how do you work through it? As a pitchability guy, you get a lot of weak contact.
Action in both pens. Question, which guy comes out first? Both of these very highly touted Friday starters. Both have had some adversity thrown their way. Contrades is 0 for 1, walked in his last at bat, and he's rung up looking. Now 0 for 2 with his first strikeout of the evening.
Yeah, tough there. Again, out of 3rd with the curveball just dropped in. Another start you want for Contrades, especially with and how big of a piece he's been adding back into this lineup to start things off. Need him to pick it up these next couple of nights.
3rd strikeout of the day for Rouse. 2 of them swinging, 1 looking. And deals a ball in on Vu. Kean scored the 3rd run of this game in the 3rd inning, reaching on a fielder's choice, before that a ground out. Sun Devils 4 runs on 4 hits. Oral Roberts 3 runs on 4 hits. Vu way out in front here, a 3-0 count.
And everything's ticked down right now for Rouse. Fastball's been a little bit lower. It was kind of 88, 90, now in the mid to upper 80s. Curveball there dropping down nearly into the 60 mark.
3-0 deal. Ball 4, a 4-pitch walk. The second time we've seen that tonight from Rouse. It really got to him the last time he did that. And now, when you know it, a runner on for Brandon Compton and less than 2 out. Another major challenge. You walked him last time. Could put him on this time, but you just walked Kean Vu on 4 pitches. You probably don't want to do that again.
Yeah, it's the mashing part of the order. Vu, Compton, Tobias. No easy bat that you can even, again, really truly flinch at. Right? You have to test him here. Down in the count early, you walked Vu. You have to give your best stuff in a spot where you really don't want to.
Compton hitting .429. 2 homers on the season and 9 runs batted in. Even the outfielders just a few steps in from the warning track. They don't want anything getting by him. With Brandon Compton at the plate, that misses out and it counts 2 balls and no strikes. You're really letting him get into your head. 2 pitches in that amount of time. You've taken too long to get the ball to the plate with a hitter who just walks up there with such swagger. Vu is off first. Here's the 2-0 with 1 out. This is now 7 consecutive misses from Weston Rouse.
Yeah, this is near and where you're seeing somebody. Again, you got a righty up in the pen, going up against another lefty and Tobias next. You got maybe 1 more batter after this at most.
Toby doubled last time. This is Strike finally getting one over the plate. So he's not an easy batter to face either. And then you get to Cromwick, who's had a home run on the night. The next 3 batters all have at least 1 hit. 3-1. He's battled back at the call on the outer edge there. Now 3 balls and 2 strikes. So this would be a monumental out if you can get it. Avoid letting Brandon Compton do any kind of damage. Payoff pitch coming. Vu is on first. 1 out. Devils lead by a run. Bottom 5th. And did he balk? No, it's a pitch clock violation, and Compton's getting on with a walk. Wow, that was brutal. The last thing you wanted in that situation is to give him a free base, and you did. It'll go down the book just the same. Back-to-back walks for Weston Rouse.
First baseman number 18, Jaden.
Just brutal to lose track of the pitch clock. It's still semi-new to these guys. He hasn't done a ton of Division I pitching, but you have to be aware on that 3-ball count. You can't miss. Vu's taking off for third, and the Devils have stolen third for the second time tonight. Find another team in college baseball that can do that. Kyle Walker, now Kian Vu, a couple of straight steals of third for Arizona State. Runners go to the corners. Compton did not advance, so he's still on first. And Jacob Tobias, fresh off a double 2 innings ago, takes a pitch 1-1. I agree with you here, JT. If he doesn't get this out, and ideally a ground ball for a double play, you have to consider the pull.
Especially with Cromwell coming up, already left a changeup high in the zone to him. And last at bat, a couple of fastballs too that Cromwell just got underneath of.
Vu, Compton, the base runners. The count to 2-1. How quickly this game just changed. If you're Arizona State, this inning rather, where you were a strike away from getting Compton out, now you've loaded the bases. Tobias moves Compton up to second. Vu stays at third. And Josiah Cromwick, who had the first run of the night for Arizona State on a homer, is probably going to face a new pitcher here. Off to the mound comes 13th year manager Ryan Fulmar, who's seen just about everything in his time at ORU. And he knows it's time to pull his Friday night starter, who comes out of this game in line for a loss and significantly more damaged than he entered. He entered with no ERA. He went a scoreless 5 innings last week. But Weston Rouse gets beat up a bit by these ASU bats, as almost everybody seems to be. We'll tell you about Oral Roberts' first trip to the bullpen when we come back. Bases are loaded. Big opportunity from Josiah Cromwick with Arizona State leading 4-3 here on ESPN+. Jared Ure is the first out of the bullpen for Oral Roberts, and he's come in about the worst situation he could. 1 out, bottom 5. His team trails by a run, but the bases are loaded, and one swing of the bat from a guy who already has a homer tonight could make things significantly more challenging for Oral Roberts. He goes off speed at 78 and lands the first pitch for strike one on Josiah Cromwick. Line is still open on Rouse, so we won't get you his line quite yet. But the Friday night starter is indeed in line for the loss no matter what happens here. Another off speed, same spot, same velocity, and same result as Cromwick goes down 0-2.
Yeah, would not be surprised to see it 3 straight times. I mean, how far in front Cromwick was there. Why not try to push him the other way?
Tobias, Compton, Vu all looking to run the bases with one gone. And a breaker misses out, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, I like this early. Couple of off speeds, try to get you on the ground. I think now try to blow by a heater on the corner.
Haven't seen anything fast from him yet. Goes off speed at 79, and it's those high 70 balls that send Josiah Cromwick back to the dugout empty-handed. And a bullpen strikeout to start the day for Ure.
Yeah, spamming the off speed early. And now you see it here if you're Jackson, a lot of off speed, got to get the barrel to it.
Isaiah Jackson has hit a grand slam at Muni in his career, but it hasn't happened in 2 years. He goes back up the middle. That will do the job. In is Vu. Compton right behind him. Wheel 2 runs in for the Devils. It's 6-3 as Arizona State tacks on a pair thanks to Isaiah Jackson's second hit of the game.
And it's such a great swing. And finding the barrel through, punching it right back up. Then you don't need the big swing. You don't need a big long ball that finds the way out of you. That's at times what you'd see from Isaiah Jackson in the past. Wanting the big hit, the gapper double. That does just the same job and just forcing it right back through the middle.
You said on his last hit that that's a hit that wouldn't have happened, last year. That's a hit that wouldn't have happened last year. A ground ball right back up the middle. These are very un-Isaiah Jackson-like hits, and it's almost entirely due to this new swing that he's developed that has brought him so much more confidence and led to his first multi-hit day of this young season. He did, by the way, advance Tobias to third. So Jackson and Toby are on the corners now. Still danger as Jonathan Hernandez comes in. Both of those runs, by the way, going to get charged to Rouse, who is now up to 6 earned runs. If Tobias scores there from third, it's 7. First steal to Hernandez, and he finds the gap on the left side of the infield. Moves Jackson up 90 feet, scores Tobias, and it's 7-3. Largest lead of the evening for Arizona State.
Yeah, how about actually Landon Hairston coming in for Hernandez there, poking it the other way to get the big base hit. Again, you talk about the depth in this outfield room, got another guy that can give you a big hit.
Landon Hairston in the DH spot. You expect getting the back half of this game. Comes up big. And now Jax Ryan looks to keep the party going, taking a ball away. That ball just as clean as Tobias, or as Jackson's. Just a clean stroke. Found a hole that he liked on the left side of the infield and exploited it. So now Hairston is on second, or on first rather. And Jackson is on second. Jax Ryan singled in the third, flew out in the fourth, and now lines one right at Combs to end the inning, but another crooked number for Arizona State. Their second 3-run inning of the game, and it's propelled them to their largest lead of the night. 7-3 as ASU takes it to the back half we go, top of the 6th when we return here on ESPN+. Sun Devils in the bottom of the 5th get their 11th inning of the season with 3 or more runs, and Jaden Taylor, they're not ready to relinquish this 4-run lead. They go right to the guy who's basically been their most effective bullpen arm so far, Jonah Giblin, fresh off an electric performance on Monday.
Yeah, a couple of great outings already this season. Most trusted arm out of the pen for Willie Bloomquist by far in this kind of middle role.
First pitch is launched into left center field, and Gibby gets hit up for extra bases on the first pitch he throws. It's Kaane Yates, the catcher, who gets into second base. 2 strikeouts on his day. He turns it around nicely there.
Yeah, up and in, and you really thought off the bat it might have been fisted into left field, but just enough to keep it carrying into the gap. Well, not exactly the start you want for Giblin now, but again, like we said with Ben Jacobs, one big hit can't learn into 2 or 3.
Now Cooper Combs, also 0 for 2 with a strikeout. He hits one to left field. This ball's up into the night, and it's gone. Another home run for the Oral Roberts Bats. And 2 pitches into the inning, they've cut a 7-3 lead to 7-5.
And what a swing. Up and in. Exactly where you want a fastball. Just hung over the heart of the plate, and man, that ball was launched.
The 4th home run of the game for Oral Roberts, 5th between these 2 teams. It is a night that is in the 70s. Would imagine now it's dropped into the 60s. It's been a pretty warm day in Phoenix. The conditions were ample coming in, very conducive to this already, and these bats have just exploited them. 7-5 now. We didn't even get to talk about how good Jonah Giblin was over the weekend. This ball's off the end of the bat. A chase down for Vu. Finally gets the first out of the inning.
And Vu makes so many plays. Just look way too easy. Not a lot of right fielders get to that ball that quickly, camp under it with such an odd angle getting back out there. But again, this outfield has been so quick to the baseball, and Vu's just been anything but an exception for some great defensive skill out there.
And big shoes to fill. Nick McLean was there last year. You knew pretty much no matter what was going to be a drop-off defensively, but with Vu, he's pretty close to it. He's played that position very, very well.
I think the big thing for McLean, not as quick, I think you'd see to getting those balls into the corner as Vu, but truthfully, the arm was the big thing. You could not run on Nick McLean out and right.
And that is where you start to look at a guy like Kai McGarry, who he's not in the starting the rotation this year, but he's gotten some DH spots, and you'd imagine a favorite to start next year. McGarry, I think, has been clocked in the low 90s throwing from the outfield. He's very fast. He's very athletic. He might be the best combo of Vu and McLean. If you put him in right field, you can also put him in left. You're going to have a lot of space to fill in the outfield next year. Kai should pretty much have his choice of spots, and that's the guy that's going to be able to gun runners down. But Vu's there this year. Giblin's on the mound for Arizona State. Through 5 relief innings entering this game and only allowed 1 earned run. And he sets down Shark for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, good way to bounce back, especially after a couple of big hits to open it up, slowing it back down, getting guys out in front, and a really good pitch. Curveball outside of the zone, got him chasing. And again, you settle in, you show your stuff a little bit more, and you keep it where it's at. Again, never comfortable right now in this ballgame.
Tyler Broderick is 0 for 2, a strikeout and a ground out. And he takes the ball low for a ball and no strikes. Gibby's most impressive outing was on Monday. 3 innings against Austin Peay with very little room for error. A 5-3 lead, and he held it. Allowed 1 hit, no earned runs, walked 1, struck out 4. And you'd like him to get back to that. He still can, even after the early struggles. 7-5 Arizona State. We're in the 6th. Golden Eagles scored 19 on Sunday. You knew they weren't going to lie down coming in. But boy, they have played this long ball. They played their first series of the season in a very cold home ballpark. Certainly enjoying every minute of being here in the desert, especially given that they're basically back home for the next 2 weeks after this. They have one midweek. That's it. Their next bunch of games. 14 of their first 18 are at home at a newly renovated Chapman Ballpark. Ball left side. It gets by Contreras. Good scoop. Ryan throws him out at first. Jacks Ryan from deep in the hole. It's at the 6th spot. Gets Giblin out of a jam with only a pair of runs allowed. One of them, or two of them rather, on 2 hits. No errors, bases left empty. 5.5 down. Devils now lead by just 2. They'll get back to the plate when we come back here on ESPN+. Bottom 6 at Phoenix Municipal Stadium here in the desert with Jaden Taylor, Aiden Blanc. Great to be with you for the Friday game of this series. Back tomorrow at 1, Sunday at noon local time. A square to bunt, and Kyle Walker has that ball right up on him. Did it get a piece of our home plate umpire there? Did it get Scott Latendry?
I think they're giving him a second, at least to see if it hit off of him or, it looked like it was off the left shoulder.
Angel Campos, Ramon Armendariz have come over. Now the Sun Devil athletic training staff has come out just to check on him. I didn't even see it hit off of him. That's how quickly it ricocheted.
Yeah, those aren't fun.
Wow, they scored it a ball on the scoreboard. So it didn't hit any of Walker's bat, which is what I thought it had.
Yeah, that must have been the ricochet off of the shoulder pad a little bit.
It popped up and really looked like it hit Walker's bat, but no. It's a ball and no strikes here on the 9-hitter for ASU, who takes a strike at 1-1. Walker, a run in the 3rd after reaching on a fielder's choice and then flew out the next inning. Good movement on that sweeper. It's 1-2.
I think the off speed's been everything right now for the righty. Just spamming it and then trying to see on the back end, working backwards to a lot of these hitters.
He grounds one hard to short, but it's not getting by Davis. I said earlier he has been a brick wall, and that is the truth. 6-3 put out to start the inning.
Yeah, there's really only been one spectacular play over there at short, but every single thing's been at him. He's made look easy right now. It's what you want in your shortstop, right? Keep everything clean and calm and settled for a pitching staff that has had a couple rough innings to where they've just been unable to keep things settled down.
Here's Contrades. Get on the air 1 local time tomorrow. Expect the pitching staff, or the pitching matchup, to be Jack Martinez in the Saturday role for Arizona State, who was pretty good his first time out, against Nathan Love, 1-0 for Oral Roberts. Each of the Eagle pitchers were able to earn a win in their 3 games on Sunday. Can't really understate how incredibly rare that is to have not only one, but all 3 of your starting arms get a win on the same weekend. Very successful opening trio of games for the Eagles.
Yeah.
2-2.
Yeah, and again, it starts off with confidence to begin the season, right? You go up against a lower opponent, Arkansas Pine Bluff, build confidence a little bit that you have good stuff, and then you're going to go up against, again, a real big test and a baseball power.
2-2, looking to put him away, and Urey's pitch is fouled off. Well, the tests will certainly come for ORU, one of the toughest schedules in the country. Oklahoma, Oklahoma State, Cincinnati, Arkansas, and that's not to count the 3 games they're playing now, or any that are coming in conference, which are the ones that really matter. A strikeout of Contrades, and New down on strikes for the 2nd time in as many innings.
And again, it's the RPI adds that you want out of this group, right? We've seen even the Summit League at times be a 2-bid league, and the depth they have between a couple of really solid teams. You want to get this team ready to be a dominant force when you get into conference play, when, again, you're going up against some top Power 4 opponents.
Hard ground ball wide of the line for Kian Vu, and at bat number 4 on the night for him. Again, they were multiple games under 500 last year, won the Summit League, and competed at least in a very good regional. Make the argument that was the best regional last year. Vu straightens it out a little. He might have extra bases down the line. He will hold it first. Oh, a nice single from KV there in his 4th at bat of the evening. He's been on 3 times now, but that's his first hit. 2-out single sends up Compton.
Yeah, breaking ball low at the front foot and just golfing it down the line. You get it back to back, and got the barrel through the zone, and a good piece of hitting right there by Kian Vu. Now again, how can you keep things moving with the middle of the order?
Lead off first from Vu, but again, he's just not much of a threat to steal with 2 outs and Brandon Compton at the plate. The last person you want to take the bat out of their hands. But the base running, you never know. They've been pretty good tonight. BC, oh man, that's a line drive right back up the middle. Impossible to stop. And that's not even one of the hardest balls he's hit this season. Right back where it came from. And a couple of runners aboard in the bottom of the 6th. ASU in business with a 2-out rally.
Yeah, a true liner. It's probably the softest baseball he's hit that's been a base hit thus far this year. And just the build out of Brandon Compton, a guy that just is always in the weight room. And again, that type of swing, right? A lot of times might just be an easy ground ball back up the middle. That extra build just forces that through for a knock.
2 on, 2 out. Here's Toby. First baseman takes one over the plate at 77 for a strike. You have to be careful with how many of those you throw. You miss 1, you give up 2, maybe 3 runs. 0-1. Hard ball right side. Only hard because Compton stuttered and tried to make Shark misplay it, but he doesn't, and the inning comes to an end with a couple of runners stranded. But the Devils able to put some more runners on base. That's always the name of the game with the Arizona State offense, 7-5. We go to the 7th, flying along on a Friday night here in Tempe on ESPN+. Seventh inning of action here at Phoenix Municipal Stadium. Aiden, Blanc, Jaden, Taylor on ESPN+. Ground ball to first. Tobias to Giblin. One pitch, one out. After the rocky start he experienced last inning, a very strong start to his first full inning of work for Jonah Giblin.
Yeah, can't complain. Get yourself through it again after a couple of big long balls in that inning. Again, you still show the confidence that you have, right, in your righty. And a lot of other options in the bullpen. See how much work you can get out of Giblin here and see what he can put together throughout maybe 2 outings this weekend.
I should say it's his second full inning of work. He was in to start the 6th. It was the double and the homer. Tied 4 straight since. Martell Davis has the homer out of the 9 spot. Came back in the 5th. Giblin behind 2-0. It's a long strike there onto the concourse, 2-1.
In a weekend like this, right, you have a lot of confidence in your arms and what they're able to do. Again, Willie Bloomquist wants to bring it down about 12, 13 guys he can trust, build into these roles, and that's what weekends like this are for.
Line right at Jax. Jax Ryan makes the stoppage short like it's nothing. Both shortstops have really shown out tonight. And that's a quick second out of the inning, an L6 on Martell Davis. Sends up the only guy in either lineup that has not been set down at least once, and that's Will Edmondson. Set the tone right off the bat with a leadoff homer. He's singled and walked since then. This is the first time that he's seen Giblin, though. All 3 of his at-bats coming against Ben Jacobs. The 1-0. In for a strike, 1-1. You'll notice they're not throwing anything up in the zone to him anymore. They've learned their lesson multiple times with the leadoff hitter for the Golden Eagles.
And again, we talked about it, right? If you're going to miss, you're going to miss low. Every miss today for Ben Jacobs and Jonah Giblin have been either a fastball or a changeup high. And again, Oral Roberts, you're just looking at that pitch every single day, trying to see it and drive it.
He now has 8 hits. This is number 9 on the season. Isaiah Jackson decides to play it back. The smart move there, take away extra bases, but that's the 3rd hit and the 2nd single of the day for Will Edmondson.
Yeah, right back up the gut, and it might end the day for Giblin.
Makani Tanaka is the next due up, but then you get to Kaane Yates, who was the first to face him. He's in the hole, and that will be the day for Jonah Giblin. It wasn't the prettiest, and it's not going to look that way on paper, but he got some quality outs. After the homer and the double, he ended up retiring 5 of his next 6 and leaves just a runner on base. So at the end of the day, not much of a black mark on the resume of Jonah Giblin. Willie Bloomquist goes back to the bullpen, looks to be Sean Fitzpatrick. We will confirm that and come back with you as we continue along. Top of the 7th, and Arizona State a 7-5 lead here on ESPN+. Sean Fitzpatrick enters for Arizona State, trying to leave a runner stranded here in the first of the seventh with Jaden Taylor. Aiden Blanc here on ESPN+. A delight to have you with us as the Devils try to hang on to that 2-run lead, earn Ben Jacobs his first win of this young season. And the first move that Sean Fitzpatrick makes is a pickoff to first, where he has leadoff hitter Will Edmondson. Oral Roberts has been burned a lot by the aggressive base running from Arizona State. Be interesting if they tried some of their own. The batter is Makani Tanaka, and the ball gets by Cromwick. They didn't even need aggressive base running. Edmondson just able to walk down to second base and take it free. Second time he's advanced to second in as many at-bats.
You cannot have one get away from you now. Back third of this ball game, got to settle things in, especially with Oral Roberts lineup. We've seen a couple of long balls here today.
Ooh. Strange swing, and it gets stabbed all the way to the netting.
Yeah, that's just trying to check it, and you just couldn't. I mean, two-seam run from Fitzpatrick that went way up and in, just could not stop the momentum of your bat.
It looked almost defensive. Fitzpatrick, not a side armor, but has that kind of launch angle. And that's what makes him so effective if you haven't seen him before. And why he's so good out of the bullpen. Coming in spots like this. Tries a sweeper. 2 balls and a strike. Vailele Kaane Yates, the catcher, waits on deck, who doubled in his last at bat and scored a run. So you'd like to end this thing here, not give him a chance to get even hotter. 2-1. Rolled hard on the ground to second, but Walker, maybe the best in this infield defensively, and gets the Devils out of the jam. A runner stranded, and Arizona State hanging on to that 7-5 lead. It's stretch time at 8:40 local time on a Friday night. The back third underway here from Phoenix Municipal Stadium on ESPN+. Let's keep it going. Coming out of the stretch here at Phoenix Municipal Stadium. The Devils 6 defensive outs from their 5th straight win to open up the season, but they get another chance to add insurance here offensively. 5, 6, 7, Cromwick, Jackson, and then Landon Harrison, who is in that spot as a sub. That is a disgusting breaking ball, and Cromwick bites into it. No balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, tough to go after that. He's fed them all curveball thus far. 5 different curveballs and now 2 ABs.
Barely gets a bat on that. 0-2. Cromwick led this game off, well, got this game going in the second with a home run to tie it. Devils have not trailed since then. He's been retired in 2 at-bats since, though. He hangs around, and Kaane Yates a little frustrated behind the dish there. Really wanted to help his pitcher, Jared Ure, out, who's in his 3rd inning of work here, and get the catch for strike 3. And instead, they'll have another pitch here to have to get by the catcher. Cromwell sticking around. Got to give him credit. He's had some tough pitches thrown his way, but he's stood up.
Yeah, it's just the same pitch back and forth. Outer corner curveball. He's placed it really, really well. And right now, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
He watches that one sail by him, and he's down on strikes for the 2nd time in as many at-bats. So a strikeout looking to begin the inning for Ure. And now here's Isaiah Jackson, who's kind of had the opposite, where Cromwell started hot and has cooled off. Isaiah struck out back in the 2nd. Since then, has 2 hits. And certainly the way he's swinging the bat could have a 3-hit day here. First pitch out in front of it, going to be a tough play. Jackson's quick, but not quick enough. Ure beats him down the line. Wait a minute.
I said he was off the bag.
He was off the bag, and Isaiah's on for a 3rd time with an infield single.
Yeah, that's tough. Ure just pretty much overrunning it. It was a really, really tough throw back there to try to get, honestly, into his back shoulder a little bit with that throw. And again, just not enough. Just trying to get that right leg to skip through and touch the end of the bag and couldn't do so.
Let's see. It should be an infield single. They haven't ruled on it yet. Isaiah easy back to first. If it is, it's his 3rd hit of the day. No, they're going to rule it an E3. So an error on the first baseman, actually. That's interesting. Fender. And they're going to make him pay. That is into the Muni Knight. But it's caught just shy in right field. That was a very deceptive ball. Off the bat of Landon Harrison. Would have been a big, big ball from him after a single in his first at bat. And he makes us pay in the booth as well.
Yeah, just not quite the launch angle on that one. Off the bat, I think everybody here thought it was out. No doubt. Man, just gets caught up and dies at the end.
You do enough games here, and it almost becomes second nature. As soon as a ball gets onto that track where it looks like it gets up into the sky a little bit, you just assume that thing's gone.
If it's April, May, that one's way out of here.
You're
that
right.
one's probably on the practice field.
It's February. It's not quite into the 80s or 90s yet. And that's probably why that ball doesn't travel a little further. And instead holds Isaiah at first and has Ryan in a count of 0-1. Deep breath from Ure on the mound after that. He mispitches, and Isaiah Jackson goes to 2nd.
And again, those small things, just slightly kicked away there by Yates, gets up slowly, and you put your head down for a moment, Jackson's off.
I'm on board with calling that the deciding factor in this game if ASU wins it. 4 or 5 extra bases taken tonight. Get him to first. 6-3 the putout. We'll talk about that more as we go to the 8th. No runs, no hits, an error, and a runner left on base. 7 in the books. The back 2 on its way. Arizona State 6 defensive outs from their 5th straight win to start the season. Back in a moment on ESPN+. inning at Phoenix Municipal Stadium with Jaden Taylor, Aiden Blanc, 7-5 Arizona State lead. They need 6 outs to get the win. And JT, for at least the next 3, we assume, it's going to be Lucas Kelly, the former Texas A&M Aggie who they've used a lot these first 4 games.
Yeah, I mean, him and Giblin, very solid pieces in his middle relief role right now. You know, Kelly more so your setup guy with Koger in the back end to shut it down a lot of nights. Again, a lot of depth having to be tested to begin this season, and thus far they've been competent.
Koger has some saves under his belt already. Despite entering ASU, having saved 1 game in his entire collegiate career, and it was a summer ball game. It was not even at Louisville. But he's already saved 2 on the season. The opening night game and then the last one against Austin Peay. So you probably like him for the back third, but obviously that means Lucas Kelly has to do his job here and get him there. Kelly has appeared twice. He appeared opening night for an inning, gave up 2 hits without an earned run or a walk, striking out 1, giving up a double. And then on Sunday through an inning, same deal, clean sheet, but 2 walks and a strikeout. This flown deep to right field, but it's going to stay in the ballpark. I was ahead of it there. Kian Vu ahead of it as well. First out of the 8th inning.
Definitely not the same sound off the bat of that one. Just kind of more off the end cap, pushed it the other way. If we got tied up a little bit there, but a good adjustment at the end to get back to it. And again, if you're Kelly right now, just keep a clean frame. Throw up a 0, make it easy for offense to come back out there, try to get some insurance in your final chance.
Well, here's Cooper Combs. Got to be careful. He homered his last at bat. Before that, a strikeout and a flyout. Combs now 5 hits in his first 12 at-bats as a Golden Eagle. Mentioned the Kansas transfer. In his final year of collegiate baseball, the senior entered this series hitting .440. 4 has dropped it down to .417. Would love a big swing here. If you're Oral Roberts, you get 5 outs to play with. You need that last second push. And that can't all come in the 9th. You would like that to come right here. Ground ball right at Jax Ryan. The infield's been perfect tonight. Ooh, it took Toby off the bag, but he stayed on just enough. Tobias, I think, misjudged where the ball was going because it wasn't a bad throw. He just didn't align himself properly.
I think the big thing, he got to the bag late.
Yeah,
Ryan was already ready with it, with the ball out of his hand by the time that Tobias over there at first, again, who was playing to the pull side, right? He's wide off the bag over there at first. He finally got his head switched around, and the front leg wasn't there.
Ethan Fender, first baseman, he's 0 for 3. Last hope in the 8th. For the Golden Eagles, mentioned their 13th year under Ryan Fulmer, who was there for a whole bunch of seasons as an assistant even before that. He's been so good as head coach of this program. 7 NCAA regionals under his tenure, 7 conference titles as well. And as we've talked about 2 years ago, their season ending in Omaha.
Yeah, what a story. I mean, it was one of the oldest rosters in the country. A lot of grad students, a lot of guys that were, a couple-year transfers, been there for a couple of seasons, and what a stretch it was for that group to get all the way over to Omaha.
0-2. Fouled back.
And again, it shows not only, right, what mid-major baseball can be, but how much it can grow. You get one season like that, you put yourself in the national landscape, and you get a lot of other D1 guys, Power 5 guys that are looking for a place to play a little bit more. Now you're new name on the map.
1-2 from Kelly. Chopper right side. Inning over. If they want those runs, they're going to have to get him in the 9th. Devils are 3 outs from a win. Last chance for insurance as Arizona State comes up. Bottom 8 at Phoenix Muni here on ESPN+. Another arm for Oral Roberts, though most of these arms have been used very sparingly. As we head to the bottom of the 8th on a Friday night with Jaden Taylor, Aiden Blanc, it is Jack Hill, the third and potentially final arm the Golden Eagles use tonight. Uray's line is done. We'll get it to you in just a moment. The first pitch to Kyle Walker upstairs for a ball. Kyle has not done much today. Reached in the third on a fielder's choice, then a fly out and a ground out. Gets a chance to lead off here. So Uray's line is going to read like this. He goes 2 2/3, 4 hits, scoreless baseball. That was big. No walks and 3 Ks. Came in at a 2-run game, kept it that way. That was a big, big plus. Got some good innings out of him in the bullpen. Be interesting to see if he's available to come back on Sunday, because obviously Sunday is where ASU usually hits the best. It's, you're at the end of your pitching rotation. It's warm. Little nubber to center, easy for Tanaka. First out. So bringing in a guy like him who's already shut these bats down once would be pretty big if he could come back, but 2 2/3 is a lot to turn around 2 days later on, or 1 day later on.
Yeah, I think you're trusting him maybe an inning at most. I think that's all you're probably getting out of Uray if you want him on Sunday. And again, that just depends upon the depth and really who you all trust and how comfortable he is as an arm out there. And I think it's got to be a close game deep into the ball game on Sunday if you want him to have a chance.
Turns it over for New Contrades. A walk, and other than that, he's 0 for 3. So last weekend, Uray only threw once. He threw 3 innings in the Friday game. Strangely enough, same line, Three innings, 4 hits, no errors, or earned runs rather, and no walks. Weird little coincidence, but they did not try to turn him around on Sunday. Not that they would have needed him because it was a 19-0 ball game, but they did not try to turn him around. It'd be interesting to see if that becomes a storyline late on Sunday, if it is a close game. It is 3 balls and a strike here on Contreras. The bit of action in the Sun Devil bullpen. You again imagine Will Koger's coming in for the save here. The team's primary closer would be his 3rd so far. That's a walk.
Yeah, everything missing up right now for the new righty. Just getting down the mound, the extension for him is just not what we've seen thus far. Again, he's very stand-up. The front foot is getting down quickly, and that really forces that front glove to do a lot of work to try to get the rest of that body through down the mound. And it's forcing him to have his release point really pretty much at the ear with that fastball.
They throw it away at first. News going to second. He takes a turn. You never know with how they've run the bases tonight, but he will hang out there. It's insurance, but it would be good if they could get Contreras around. And now he's made himself a base hit away. And it's Kian Vu at the plate. Has not even seen a pitch yet. With Compton on deck. Good chance for the Devs to rally here. Extend that lead.
I think it just makes it more comfortable going into the 9th for Koger, and had a little bit of trouble back on Monday against Austin P. The curveball wasn't there. That's got to be the big pitch. He's got to find an adjustment with today.
Vu, little roller. It's going to go foul. Koger has not allowed an earned run in his 2 appearances. An inning apiece. A hit against Ohio State, none against Austin P. So the way he's pitched so far, you're pretty happy now. But if you can get it to a 3 or 4 run game, you got to think it's close to automatic that Koger can get 3 outs and get you the Friday win. Turn in a throw. New is in safely. Compton waits eagerly on deck. With a runner in scoring position. Vu fouls it off himself. It's 1 and 2.
And again, you're at this part of the order where nothing's easy. You got to fight every single at-bat against 3 straight lefties that have a lot of pop to them. Can't make a mistake right now.
First inning for Jack Hill out of the Golden Eagle bullpen, and he's in a bit of trouble. Trying to put down Vu, who will not go out without a fight. Second game of this series, 1 p.m. tomorrow. Jack Martinez for the Devils. Nathan Love for Oral Roberts. Vu takes off. The pitch is flown to left. Vu is put down, and Contreras retreats to second. 2 out of the inning. Brings up Brandon Compton.
Number 27.
We have yet to see that signature BC smack. There's usually 1 a game. He had a single in his last at bat. It was his first hit of the game. But even without that big hit, he has still been able to reach 3 times and twice on walks. So he hasn't really had a ton of chances to get that big hit. This would be a good one. That is getting away from the catcher. Yates tracks it down. Contreras to third. I said it earlier, the free bases and how the Devils have taken a lot of them. That's the story of this game.
And again, it's not always about the long ball, right? It's been the opposite way today. In Arizona State last couple of seasons, it is big home runs, big swings. Can't always get the needed ones in those moments. And this season, thus far, it's been a lot different. A couple of big home runs that have really changed games, but if you look at the overall scorebook, it's not really what changed that same inning.
1-0.
And it's been these long at-bats that they're able to force and able to grind out ABs, then take extra base to the back end. It's a very aggressive group that is going to catch you sleeping any single time you're out there.
1-1, 2 out in the inning. Runner 90 feet away for Compton. Here's the pitch. They just won't pitch to him. You haven't really seen the frustration for him, but eventually it's going to get to him. They just will not throw him a strike. And it's the smart decision. It's the only decision, the way he's hit the baseball. When a guy who's used to seeing meatballs when he gets up to the plate has just not been thrown anything tonight.
I mean, why test him, right, in this moment? It's tough, though. You got Jacob Tobias right behind you, right? He's already had a couple of big base hits, and, they don't even want to see him.
They walk him?
Yeah, intentional walk.
I don't know if I've ever seen that before. Mid-at-bat, they intentionally walk Brandon Compton, save themselves a pitch.
First base number 18, Jaden.
Well, here's the thing about intentionally walking devs, and we saw this last year. This lineup, it rarely goes well. You can try it, but it rarely goes well for you, especially when the guy up next is Jacob Tobias, who can pull this team away with one swing here. The first pitch to Toby is a strike at 82, and you're lucky he didn't clock that. If it's a little more in the zone, that ball is headed to dead center field.
Yeah, painted on the outer edge with there a changeup. I don't mind it, a little too high in the zone, though. Might want to go slider in here.
Runners on the corners. 0-1 for Toby. You're playing with fire. They give Brandon a free second base. 84, that one even more over the middle than the last. Throw that a third time. It can't go well. Second and third, they are out there for Jacob Tobias. The 0-2 for him. Ooh, way upstairs. Looked like Hill might have slipped.
I mean, that's the thing right now for Hill. You see that front foot does not extend far down the mound. It gets caught up early, and the rest of the body just can't follow.
1-2. Oh, he just missed it. Now it's 2-2. That's frustrating. You thought you were going to get a really good hitter out pretty easily with that pitch. Got to do it again. The Texas A&M Corpus Christi transfer on the mound. A clean inning in his only appearance of the year. In trouble here. Deuces wild. 2-2, 2 on, 2 out. Pitch to Toby is poked down the line. Trailing foul. Not the pitch he wanted to see, and he spoils it to force another.
Yeah, they've been forcing him and on the outer third. Every pitch been on the outer edge to all three of these lefties. I think the only pitch we've seen that's been anywhere over the heart of the plate was just straight middle to Brandon Compton, that 2-1 pitch, then just missed low.
2-2 again from Hill. Tobias waiting patiently. Here's the deal. Swing and a miss. High heat at 91. And the experienced JUCO arm of Jack Hill has kept it a 2-run game going top 9. And so it all shifts over as the lights go down to Will Koger. 2 saves on his young season, looking for a third and a 5-0 Arizona State start. 3 outs to go, heading to the 9th at Phoenix Muni on ESPN+.
Total Sun Devils number 31, Will Coker.
Sun Devils have a new closer for 2025, and he's got 2 saves in 4 games, looking for 3 in 5 at the end of tonight. Will Coker, Louisville transfer, was mainly used not as a closer, but as a late inning reliever at Louisville. Very experienced, multiple seasons of Summer Bowl, 3 seasons in the ACC, and his final season of college baseball has started well at Arizona State. The first pitch he throws, looking for a save, is fouled away by Jack Shark, the second baseman.
And it's all about the fastball for Coger. The heater, it's touched triple digits across his time. It's a really good fees. It's got some upside run to it.
Second offering is low. Shark has had an interesting day. Strikeouts in the 2nd and 6th, but in the middle of that sandwich, a homer in the 5th. Counts to 2-1.
And again, the question mark, again, the heater is there. You're looking upper 90s constantly for the righty, but where does the off-speed spin? And where do you get that pitch that can get you over in tough spots and not have it all be heater?
2 balls and a strike. Coger sets, fires, grounded wide of the bag at third, 2-2. Final line on Lucas Kelly, who is arm number 4. This is arm number 5 out of the Sun Devil bullpen. 1 inning, clean baseball, and 3 batters faced. He got a fly out, 2 groundouts, 12 pitches. You would imagine he's back this weekend, maybe tomorrow, depending on how things go. Good outing for the setup man, the Texas A&M transfer. Now the closer, the Louisville transfer. Coger missing out, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
And right now, you know your fastball is your best pitch. You've been able to get him behind. Force one up and away with the hands.
3-2. Coger steps home and misses for ball 4. So in those 2 saves, he did walk 3 batters total. 2 on Monday against Austin Peay and then 1 against Ohio State. So the walks have been a bit of an issue, but he's been able to get around them. Puts the leadoff man on with a walk here in the 9th. And now moves it over for Tyler Broderick, 0 for 3 with 2 groundouts. Out of the DH spot, Broderick, Ethan Fender, Keaton Campbell, the only 3 Eagles that have yet to reach tonight. Ooh, that is a hard shot to the Oral Roberts dugout. Sent a couple of players scrambling.
Watch your lips.
I have to imagine I'm the only person that's been in person to witness all 3 of Will Koger's saves. His first in the Cape Cod Baseball League 2 years ago with the Wareham Gatemen. A 7-inning shortened game, part of a doubleheader, and then he had 2 here. I can't imagine anybody else fits that criteria.
You have a special bat, Jaden.
Koger, 2 years with the Gatemen. This past year was the first year of his collegiate career he did not play summer college ball. 0-2, runner on first. Spoiled again. A lot of rules with the Gatemen, and that actually probably prepares him very well for ASU, even though he's primarily the closer. If somebody goes down or something happens, he could start midweeks. Midweeks, essentially, you're doing a very similar Cape League kind of start, going 3 or 4 innings. You're not expected to go the distance usually. 0-2. Fouled away again.
And again, it talks about the depth that Willie Bloomquist has this season.
Yep.
So many guys available. Alba, your projected guy on Sunday. Carlone, an option out there as well. Wyatt Halverson has talked about wanting to be a guy that's in this rotation. This is your week to really test it. All right, 3 games out here. Then you go on the road against UCLA. 5 games in a 6-day stint. You see what your pitching can really do.
Koger's 0-2. Keeps him in the count. He threw 16 pitches on Friday, 24 on Monday. This one probably headed to be a little longer than either one of those outings. Misses low, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Against the off-speed, just landing it in the zone. It's not quite the control to be able to find on the corners. It's even the command right now, just getting anywhere inside that box for a moment here.
Yeah, the control has been an issue here. But not there. He gets his first out via the K. Down goes Broderick. First of 3 here in the 9th.
And you'll take it. Fastball up. Get him to take it back in there. Again, your heater is what you're known for. Why not lean back on it?
Now here comes one of the others that has not reached base, Keaton Campbell. Broderick finishes his night likely 0 for 4. Fender as well. I missed Makani Tanaka, also 0 for 4 at the top of the lineup. And then Campbell, 0 for 3. Trying to avoid joining his 3 teammates at 0 for 4, 0-1. Be interesting to see how these bats go tomorrow for Oral Roberts. Again, didn't face much on the mound those first 3 games. And now, all those guys, first time they've gone 0 for 4 this season. Are they going to be able to put that away and come back tomorrow against Jack Martinez, who, if you're not ready to face him, will mow you down again?
And how many know, again, a guy that had regional experience last year, and a couple of innings of shutout baseball against Texas A&M nonetheless.
If you let this carry over, he'll make you pay. And again, we'll have that for you, 1 p.m. local time on ESPN+. Little dribbler off the inside of the bat, new to first, got him. Great back pick by Tobias. The defense able to hold, runner goes to second, but Shark doesn't mean anything unless a runner behind him scores. Campbell likely finishing 0 for 4 on the night, and now it's down to the 9-hole hitter Martell Davis, who they will keep in here. Has a home run between a strikeout and a lineout. If you can turn it over, Will Edmondson's going to give you a shot. If you can get Davis on somehow. Edmondson is the only player in this game that has not been put out. Homer, single, walk, single. He will, by odds, get you on. But you have to get there with Martell Davis, the shortstop. 1 ball and no strikes from Koger. win here, and ASU will have tied their best start of the Willie Bloomquist era, 5-0 2 years ago. Set them up to have their best start of the Willie Bloomquist era with a win tomorrow. Foul away, a ball and a strike.
Yeah, best start since you had one of the best rosters this program has seen in probably 2 decades. 2019, 21-0 start, top 10 team in the country. And you see Torque out there, Bishop out there, Workman out there. What a roster that was. And cannot complain to be amongst them in the history books.
Will they start 21-0 this year? Probably not. But you know what? The schedule is built that it's not impossible. Every one of those games is winnable at least.
Wouldn't book it.
As opposed to last year where, 2 or 3 weekends in, you went to Texas and faced 3 teams that were basically College World Series contenders. The difference between those 2 schedules. Check swing. He held up. It's 3-1. And the fans get antsy, even though this game is only less than 3 hours old here, which is a breeze for Sun Devil baseball. These fans want to go home at 9:20 on a Friday night. Koger misses outside, just off the plate. He's walked 2 now. And here we go. What did we just say? If you can get Edmondson up, this game is still winnable. And wouldn't you know it, the right fielder, the leadoff hitter, Will Edmondson, who is 3 for 3 with a walk, is now coming up. He's faced a pair of different Sun Devil arms. This is the 3rd he's seen. And right on cue, Josiah Cromwick wants to go over how to face him with Will Koger.
And again, big thing, not a fastball on the inner third of the plate. You've already seen a couple big hits by Edmondson, just elevated P's. His hands get through really quickly. I think you got to find a way to extend him right now. Curveball's not been the best. You've dropped in a couple. Both of them have been on the inner third, though, that he's been able to find the command with. And you got to force him with a heater low and outside, and cannot test him. This is not a spot to test him too much here.
Koger wanting save number 3. Arizona State wants win number 5 in a row. Oral Roberts wants win number 4 in a row. Their undefeated season also on the line here with the tying run on first and Edmondson the winning run at the plate, or the go-ahead run. They land a strike. Or at least it was signaled a strike, right? Yes, it was signaled a strike. They missed it on the scoreboard. Koger looks down his target and fires in strike 2. 2 tremendous pitches against a guy you need tremendous pitches to get out. Fans on their feet, a couple thousand here at Muni, a good Friday night crowd. 5-0, a strike away. 0-2 from Koger. Low on a breaking ball. It's an intimidating place to play, especially when the crowd gets into it. And they've done that here tonight. 7-5 Devils. Tying runoff first. The best hitter all night, Edmondson at the plate against Koger. And they bounce it in front of Cromwick. It gets all the way to the backstop, and a base hit can tie this game. That was a cricket pitch that escapes the catcher Cromwick.
It's just really tough. You get yourself out in front. You're trying to get everybody out of here, either the home or somewhere else out in Tempe. You just got to shut it down. Cannot extend this setting to where things get even more dangerous.
Deuces are wild. 2 on, including the tying run. 2-2, 2 out. Bottom 9, Koger misses high and in. And the drama builds with a full count. Now 3-2. The tension rises again. 5-0 start, a strike away. 3-2 from Koger. High for ball 4. Go-ahead run gets on first base. And it's the second walk of the night drawn by Edmondson. He's been on 5 times in 5 at-bats. What a night for the right fielder who you would have liked to, if you're Oral Roberts, come up and get a big hit, but a walk will do some good too. But now it's up to Makani Tanaka, who has had the opposite. 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. He's only put the ball in play twice. The center fielder trying to get Koger back. Bases loaded, and the pitch is out. Dangerous spot right now for Arizona State.
Koger, same case on Monday. Didn't make it seem easy. Just got to find your way out of it.
1 ball, no strikes. Koger steps home and misses inside, behind in the count 2-0.
And this is just where you got to anchor down.
Yeah.
And this is where the experience in a final year, you just got to get over the plate. You just got to have the ability to test the guy who's already struck out a couple of times. You know you got the stuff. Be confident in here.
He is one of the most experienced on this roster, specifically on the pitching staff. Line at Jackson in center. He lets it drop down, and 2 runs scored to tie the game. Makani Tanaka, who entered this game 0 for 4, knocks home 2 runs, and it's 7-7. The Devils are going to need some help to walk it off. But first, they got to get rid of this ORU offense, because that ball moved Davis up to second base. He gives you the lead. And now they're going to keep Koger in. Jeremy Accardo is out. There is action, though, in the Sun Devil bullpen. Can't imagine entering this inning. You thought you'd need to help Koger out, but you know, in all 3 of his outings, Koger's run into some trouble. This is the first time he's broken.
Yeah, his fastball inner third, poked right through the middle. And really good look to get the hands through the barrel and get that back up. No, tough play there for Jackson. He kind of second guessed it at the end. Might have had a chance to dive. That gets past him. Pretty much all 3 runs score, and it's a whole different ball game. Gets caught in the middle and has no chance to get the runner out at home.
So Edmondson actually goes to second. Tanaka's on first. You get Edmondson in, you get the lead, and it's up to Vahile Kaane Yates, the catcher. 2 strikeouts, a double and a run, and then a flyout. And an 0-1 count here on Yates. This also harms your ability to bring Koger in again on Sunday. Still can, but the more he throws here, the less likely you're going to be to bring him back. Here's the 0-1 to the catcher. Back up the middle, going to be a tough play. It's into center. Rounding third is Edmondson, and it's a lead for Oral Roberts. Their first since the first inning on an RBI single from Kaane Yates. Now officially a blown save from Will Koger as Tanaka moves up to second.
And again, you're relying so much on the fastball. Could not find command with a curveball much at all today, and a couple that dropped in. But again, you're expecting it. You're going to be swinging at it if it's anywhere inside the zone, and just a couple of dribblers that squeak through.
Cooper Combs now with the lead. He has a homer on the night. He takes a ball. Wow, that was close. Two on, 2 out. That's a strike. It's 1-1. Koger looks down his target. Ball and a strike. Popped up foul. He's a strike from getting out of it. Here's the 1-2. Rolled foul. So in the bottom of the ninth, with the game on the line, it'll be Tobias, Cromwick, and Jackson. That's a good trio to have up. Each of them has had their share of hits tonight. Isaiah Jackson has reached in 3 straight at-bats. And we know he has a flair for the dramatic. Walk-off grand slam 2 years ago here. Wouldn't be the same situation, but he's had his share of big moments at Muni. 1-2, now to 2-2.
But again, the big thing, don't need the big swing from Jackson, right? You saw that so much year 1 because he could come through and try to get that too much in year 2. Now settling in just for good at-bats is the big change.
2-2, 2 out. Nubber to center. Jackson's on it. To the bottom of the ninth we go. Koger unable to get the job done, but the Devils just need a run to keep this going. If they get 2, we're going home. Mid-9 at Muni. ASU looking to open this series with a walk-off. It's Arizona State trailing 8-7. Back for the bottom of the ninth on ESPN+. Cromwick, Jackson, Harrison for the Sun Devils in the bottom of the ninth. A run ties it, 2 runs win it, with Jaden Taylor in Blanc. Opening game of the series. It's only getting better this weekend. It should be a very fun next couple of days here at Phoenix Municipal Stadium. Josiah Cromwick is 1 for 4, but that one was a solo homer to tie the game way back in the 2nd inning. And if you look further down in that lineup, Landon Harrison is in the DH spot. If you want someone else, you can put in somebody else. 3 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, I think right now you don't care about your defensive lineup. You need anybody to provide a spark, you're putting them in.
Spot, it doesn't matter.
That's what I'm saying. You don't care about your defensive alignment. I don't care where it's DH or your man out in the center. You want the bat that's going to give you the best shot.
3-0. A strike 3 and 1. some that haven't gotten in yet. Pop foul behind us. You would imagine, just by experience, Jean de Castro might be one of those that might get in. Brody Briggs is also not getting in. This is line to center. Diving catch! Oh my goodness! Tanaka stole one out of the air. He gave him enough space playing deep. He charged it, dove, and made a Superman grab for out number one.
Yeah, what a way to back up your new arm coming in. Full extension to take away a big base hit to lead it off. And again, you get that down, this crowd starts getting into it. Everybody starts getting, the momentum changes in such a big way.
Strike here on Jackson. Isaiah singles in the 4th and 5th, and then got on via the error in the 7th. There are some bats in that lineup that are on the bench right now. Manny Garza, Brody Briggs, who is probably the most likely to come in that spot. He's been the best hitter out of all of them. If you get him on, maybe sub with a pinch run for Kai McGarry. There are options in the depth of this Sun Devil lineup that Willie Bloomquist has said is the deepest he's had. Swing and a miss. Jackson's down for out number 2.
Yeah, don't matter the depth when your 9 can't pull it through. Again, what a start out of the pen here. You get a great defensive play, then you get a beautiful breaker that gets you out in front, over the top of that baseball, and now you're out away from a big Friday night upset.
Landon Harrison, the hitter. Landon Harrison swings and misses. Harrison came in for Jonathan Hernandez after he started 0 for 2. Knocked a single in the 5th, was inches shy of a homer, instead flew out in his last at bat, and now he's down 0-2. He's aggressive, but he's put himself in a deep hole with no outs to play with. Jax Ryan waits on deck if you can get it to him. Walker after that. But you're a strike away here. The 0-2 is ripped to right. That's down the line. And the Devils are in business with the tying run aboard. What a big knock for Landon Harrison, who's going to end with a 2-hit day.
Cannot complain. Fastball up and in. Might even chase that outside the zone. Just throw your hands through and shoot it down the line. And yeah, they'll take him out here for a little bit more speed, but that's exactly what you need. Young kid coming in and getting you a base hit in a tough spot.
Harrison is out. That is Kai McGarry, who's going to run. Kai is fast. He's very fast. And he's the kind of speed you want on. First pitch, ball 1, inside to Jax Ryan. It's the same old Devils. You give them an inch, they're going to take a mile. We'll see if they can rally here. Oh, they went back to first and almost ended it with a pickoff. Wow, that was close. McGarry just ahead of the throw.
Yeah, I think they're going to converge here.
They're going to review it. This may be the second game of the season at Phoenix Muni to end on a review. Is it reviewable? It is. The game ended on opening night with a line out to second. They doubled the runner up at second base. It was a little different in that the call on the field wasn't out and they didn't overturn it. This, if they were to overturn it, is the only way the game would end. Oh, that was close, and it would be such a brutal way to close it down when you're just starting to get momentum here to take the bat out of Jax Ryan's hand, or rather, to take the bat out of Jax Ryan's hands.
You're hoping bare minimum they don't have to come out of the press box this time. That's your easy way to discuss it here. But again, a young kid coming in, big lead, right? You get him in a little bit, really good pickoff move. You show your best early, and especially this late in the game. It was close. And we don't have the ability to see a replay up here, but they've got the option. They got the angles to look at down there on the third base dugout. Looks like they got it quick here.
Here we go. He's safe. Didn't take much to convince Scotland Tendre that they made the right call on the field. The question now, is that going to cost Oral Roberts as the Devils get another chance to rally? 1-0 on Ryan. You got to lock back in here. We should know Oral Roberts did go to the bullpen here. First pitch after the review, 2-0. They went to Patton, who delivers the 2-0 in the outer third for a 2-1 count. Dalton Patton in for the Eagles, trying to close it down. And now, once again, he's a strike away. This is one of the guys that we've seen to return for Oral Roberts. Back for the last couple of years. Was on the team that went to the World Series. Runner goes, and the throw down not in time. Base hit ties it. Count goes to 3-2.
Especially, I see a lot of guys might be hesitant, right? Nearly get picked out first time. Still the confidence there to take the bag. And a high pitch, nearly a pitch out, set up Yates well, but throw to the wrong side of the bag.
Kai McGarry, drafted locally. This ball is ripped but foul. McGarry out of Sandra Day O'Connor in Phoenix runs a sub 650 on the 60-yard dash. We mentioned earlier in the outfield he's got a 94 velo, but that really doesn't matter right now. That 60-yard dash is what matters here. Ryan takes inside, and the winning run's aboard for the Devils. And here comes Kyle Walker. One of 3 on the Golden Spikes list to begin the season. The only one on that list who has not already played a season for Arizona State. He came in with sky-high expectations. He's struggled in the results department through the first 4 games, but he has an opportunity to change that right now. 2 on, and the first pitch is hit to deep left field. A chase down the line from Combs. He's in the corner, and he's got it. Walker just off with a ball down the left field line, and the perfect season dies for Arizona State in game number 5. Their first loss of the season, a brutal one, as they blow the lead late and cannot complete the comeback in the 9th inning.
It's so tough. The pitching staff deep. We talked about it this year. Koger's had some big chances, but man, again, the secondary pitch is what ended in there. Too many fastballs high in the zone. Oral Roberts has kept the barrels to it. Man, what a 9th inning. 3 runs to close it out. Didn't get easy in the bottom half of the frame, but you'll take it. Friday night upset on the West Coast.
So, Oral Roberts moves to 4-0, and they'll try to go 5-0 with the win tomorrow. ASU dropping to 4-1. Will Koger the loss, Jack Hill the win. Hill 1-0, Koger is 0-1. Your final score tonight, Oral Roberts, 8 runs on 9 hits with 3 errors and 5 left. And for Arizona State, 7 runs, 9 hits, no errors, and 11 left. JT, it was just a little too late for the Devils, who got 2 quick outs in the ninth, and that really did him in when they eventually tried to mount their comeback.
Yeah, again, you have that big slicer to center, takes away the momentum early, calms everything down in the entirety of this ballpark for this offense. Just trying to get something going again, couldn't do enough. And again, how about an effort for Oral Roberts? Really good bullpen work to be able to keep consistent innings, especially your starters only in the upper 80s, low 90s to get through it. Got roughed up a little bit there, but again, keeping things limited, keeping big innings from getting away from them, slowing it down, and man, what a way to end it off.
So once again, our final score, Oral Roberts 8 and Arizona State 7. The good news, you're back tomorrow, and you can join us right here for the second game of the series. It starts at 1 p.m. The Sun Devils will throw Jack Martinez, Oral Roberts going with Nathan Love. For my partner, Jaden Taylor, Henry Domini directing our entire Stream Team production crew, I'm Aiden Blanc saying good night from Phoenix Municipal Stadium in Phoenix, Arizona. Thanks for watching Sun Devil Baseball on ESPN+.